Something going on, y'all. Think about if y'all participation in
It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath.
In 6 days he finished his creations. All that's in the heavens, all that's in the earth. The 7th day he sanctified and made it holy. Moses told me, this day will be for a sign between him and Jacob, established as a covenant in all our dwellings. Israel must keep it as the most valuable day, treated as a delight. The Sabbath beginning when the 6th day loses life.
It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath.
A day of rest is not pursue our own pleasures. A holy convocation, that's a holy gathering. What is reading out of his law in anticipation for a spiritual measure that Ahayah gives.
It's the Sabbath.
Sabbath, y'all. It's High Day.
Commanded not to buy or sell or to go on a journey. No laying with your wife, I hope you heed the warning. Seek and do the things that please Ahayah only. Gather with his people, have a good time. Break bread, drink wine, it's time to cast away the cares of this world for another day. Sufficient are the evils of the day.
It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath. It's the
The
Sabbath.
holy days in the Bible are Sabbaths too. Jubilees and it's new moons. Know your pastor probably told you Sabbaths any day. Take heed and do what Moses said. Let's open this Bible. Exodus chapter 31, starting at verse 13. Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, verily my Sabbaths ye should keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Ahayah that do sanctify you. For ye should keep the Sabbaths therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul should be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Ahayah. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he should be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel should keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations, for a perpetual covenant. Leviticus chapter 23, the middle of 32. From evening unto evening shall ye celebrate your Sabbaths.
That's a Sabbath anthem right there. First and foremost, we're going to get started by giving all praise and honor and glory to the Most High, Ahayah by Hashem Yahshua. That is the God that we call on, the God of the Hebrews. That's the name he gave our foreparent Moses. Ahayah, Ahayah, I am that I am. Yahshua, that's our Lord and Savior, our King, our big brother, the Messiah. Okay? I am Elder Ma'ad. This is Brother Baruch from Awakening of Ahayah's Lake Church. I want to welcome everybody for joining us, whether in person or on camera or video. Thanking the Most High for the opportunity to be used as a vessel, as a mouthpiece for him to blow the trumpet. Blow the trumpet. Today's title is The Impending War, Babylon is Falling. The Impending War, Babylon is Falling. So we're blowing the trumpet. Right now, it's real heavy in the media. A lot's going on in the world that's prophetic. Sadly, it's sad though, but the world, they're so caught up in the politics that they haven't really read the Bible. And because our people are lost for lack of knowledge of the Most High and they in themselves or their own identity, when you're reading the Bible, these prophecies concerning what will happen in the last days, we miss it. We miss it. Churches are not preparing God's people for what's to come and why it's coming. Right? It's written in the Bible that the Medes, who are the Iranians, will be used by the Most High Spirit to destroy, eradicate Babylon the Great or America. Okay? Why is Most High doing this? Let's go back to Sodom and Gomorrah, because that was an example that the Most High had given us to learn from. It was the evils, the evil doing that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, that their sin had gotten to a head against God's people. Okay? The evils that go on in the world, they have gotten to a height. The sodomites, for those who understand what sodomite is, that's a homosexual. Okay? An act that's contrary to nature, contrary to what the Most High made man and woman for. And today we see the same thing being perpetuated at a high rate. Evil to our children. They have demasculated our men. I watched a little highlight of the NBA draft, and you know, I don't know what that brother's doing. Broadcast interrupted. Still alive.
Mm-hmm.
We good?
You're still running?
Okay. Okay. I'm serious. I'm like, what? They bringing Pee Wee Herman back or something? I'm seeing these brothers 7 feet tall, 6'11", 6'8", walk around. I mean, with some, what y'all wear, women? Them little tights y'all wear? Leggings. Basically, leggings. You know, disguised as a suit, with the whole ankle showing, no socks. One brother had something like it was a falling star, or something on his chest. Well, what in the world going on with our people? You know, but I'm like, it's sad that, you know, we have an ear only for the Gentiles' voice. These Sodomites, disguised as rich men, is fashioning our people. You know, and I mean, I just don't understand why. I say this all the time. You know, from a carnal perspective, men, you know, they say we creatures of sight. So, you know, when we was worldly, we like to see women in tight apparel. Because it, you know, enhanced and showed your figure. Never thought it'd get to the day where dudes would have the same mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the purpose of this tight stuff? But anyway, not getting off the topic. That's what's going on with our world. They are teaching evil. They have programmed our people to do only evil, to love evil. As it's written, they would say what's good is evil, what's evil is good in this day. Men are not supposed to look like women, or think like women, or operate as a woman. You know, this is all done strategically for a reason. They have destroyed the families, taught us straight evil. But it's a good thing. Why? Because all this stuff that's going on right now is prophecy. In children of Israel, you so-called Native Americans, you so-called African Americans, you so-called Jamaicans, the so-called minority of the earth. All this is happening for your sake. All this is happening for your sake. Iran will destroy America for your sake, for our sake. This is the final thing. This is the final war before Christ comes. The Most High destroying these nations, the same way he did in Egypt to Pharaoh. A long time ago, as an example of what he was going to do in the end. He has reserved this arrogant nation. He has reserved this arrogant nation to show his great power to the world. And everyone that thinks right now that he don't exist will be in for a rude awakening. Because the whole earth is going to know that Ahayah is the God of the Hebrews, the God of the Israelites, and that he loves us. Sad to say, only 10% of us is going to make it. Why 10%? See, everything that we get into today, through the Spirit, hope the Most High allowed me to teach y'all how he communicates with his people. Everything that we read aforetime is a foreshadowing of the finale. So he set up an ordinance called tithes way before Moses. Because we see Melchizedek, Abraham, our father, paying tithes to Melchizedek. And Melchizedek is not Shem. He was he was not Shem. He was Melchizedek, king of Salem. which later called Jerusalem. He's not Shem, okay? He has his own history, his own father and mother outside of what Shem did. Shem was Shem. Shem knew Melchizedek. You go try records, it shows you that. But Abraham was paying tithes way before Moses. What does that 10% represent? Well, in the end, that 10%, that tithe, the 10%, the tithes was the most highest portion that he gave to his possession, the Levites, which was his possession. He gave Judah the kingdom of earth. He said that he was the Levites' inheritance. So the 10% or the tithes represents, in the end, the 10% that would make it who Christ will present to the Father as his portion. Who overcame the devil in all that he perpetrated on the earth. Was found blameless, spotless from the world. Who stood still for the Most High and his laws and his people. So, we're going to get into it because all this is happening for God's people and for the Most High to be glorified throughout the earth. Okay? So let's get it. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 22 and 26. Now, we're going to bring out some more stuff about this fleeing stuff too. Okay? Yes.
Let me expound on that for those who are familiar with Israelite, stuff like that. Like,
Israelite.
Yeah, just expound on that. There's Israelites who believe, based on the scriptures, that they must flee Babylon, stuff like that. Just for those that don't know.
There's a large population of Israelites. What are Israelites? Israelites are descendants of Jacob, who was the grandson of Abraham, who was the son of Isaac. All his children, he had 12 sons. All his children are Israelites. Christ was an Israelite, meaning that he was a descendant from Jacob, or from Israel. Jacob's name got changed by the Most High to Israel, Prince of God. Okay? There's many Israelites who believe that in Revelations, when it says we must flee, it's saying we must flee America. But remember, hey, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. No, I'm not here to persuade you, right? But what I want to show you, because a lot of our brothers are seeking, we get into this Bible, is the Most High talk about the past, the present, and the future. So when we get into the prophets, when he told them to escape, and there be those who be claiming the glory of the Most High in Zion, they did that. Ezra, the prophet Ezra, and his followers, or his caravan, or what you want to call it, those who believed in the Most High, they migrated out of Babylon, a 900-mile trip. It took them 4 months, but they had women and children with them, so it took them 4 months on foot. So at that time, you can walk from Babylon to Jerusalem. We can't walk from America, from Jamaica to Jerusalem. They did that. So if you believe they're talking about you today, hey, do you. Flee. I'm not knocking you. Most I put your spirit, flee. You might be right. We should find out in the end. But when we get into this fleeing thing, we're going to see that it's talking about something different too. It says flee out of her. So you won't be charged with her sins. Well, the landmass ain't did nothing to nobody. It ain't convinced nobody to sin. Mm-hmm. And if you flee, that don't say you from her sins. But we get into it in this lesson. Okay? You don't have to believe me. No? But let's go. Was that good enough? I kind of like the breeze, tell you the truth. No.
Yeah, it was going on.
Let's get it.
Just to where it don't turn off. That's cool right there. That's cool. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 22. And it reads, my face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robbers shall enter into it and defile it.
Now this is real history, Israelites. This is how we get over here to the Americas, to the islands. Most High promised us in Deuteronomy that if we went to, in Leviticus, all in the law, that if we went over to the land and did not keep his commandments, that he would scatter us and the land would spew us out. Okay? So when we came over to the promised land, it said Joshua and Jerusalem waxed fat, kicked their feet up, and forgot their maker, forgot their rock. Okay? So it angered the Most High. So he said he would turn his face against us as we turned our face against him. Right? Let's go.
Make a chain
Oh, I'm sorry.
for the robbers.
Yeah, it says for the robbers should enter into it. Now, I just said that he kicked us off our land. So by him kicking us off our land, that left our land to be vacant. So now we got fake Jews calling themselves Jewish people, saying that in 1948 they fulfilled the prophecy of the prophets by the Israelites returning home. Well, they got many books and jokes and saying even Abinadab from Iran, even what's the guy named from the German, Hitler. He's like, it's mighty funny that the Jews left out of Jerusalem black and returned white. Go figure that, right? They know who God's people are, right? So now, since we are, the Most High kicked us off our land and scattered us through the four corners of the earth, our land is vacant. So now robbers come in. Who they rob? Us, right? Because in Romans, the Most High said, because the fall of us, for all the Israelites, salvation has come into the Gentiles, right? That don't mean the salvation that he promised the Israelites, right? They become rich off robbing us. So everything they have started with, for y'all who don't understand this, King Solomon's temple and palace, the temple he built was made out of solid gold. The floors, the walls, solid gold. I'm talking about like how it says in our kingdom, streets gonna be of gold. Well, Solomon's kingdom was a foreshadowing of the real deal. The floor is solid gold, the wall is solid gold, every instrument wrapped, poured, it's covered in solid gold. Real gold back then. Not something that going on today. Right? So the nations have become rich off the fall of us. Okay? So robbers have come into his secret place. So those are not his people over there. Because in the prophecy, even Christ himself said that the Israelites would not come back home until he leads them. And as I check, Christ ain't came back yet. Okay? Nor do these fake Jews, these imposters, fit any of the curses of the Bible. It said that they'll be oppressed and only spoiled. In fear of their life, day and night, the sole of their feet will have no rest. It said they'll be the tail or not the head. That the stranger or Gentile that was in our midst will come up very high, and the Israelites come down very low. He will lend to us, and we will not lend to them. And again, as I check, they're not the tail. They're lending all the little currencies to everybody in the world. So they are the head. They are not Israelites at all. Okay, they are not from the seed of Jacob. Okay, but let's go.
For the robber shall enter into it and defile it.
And defile it. Anybody knows what's going on in Israel right now? That's them Sodomites that got everything going. In the Bible, every kingdom always just attacked us and took over Jerusalem. Because whoever whoever resides and rules in Jerusalem rules the whole world. That's all. When you read the scriptures, all you see, they took down Jerusalem. Every nation, Babylon, the Medes and Persians, the Grecians, the Romans, they there right now, running the world. Okay.
Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes.
The land is full of bloody crime. So that's what's going on right now in Israel. All these fake terrorist attacks is these people. It's the Jewish people who's telling us in the media that it's someone else. It's them. They're behind and financing all the terrorists, 911, everything. What's going on right now? They just lied this a couple days ago. I swear it's a lie. right? I don't believe none of these people say Christ says they liars. Not only saying that the Iranians shot down their unmanned drone. I don't know, but I wasn't there, so I didn't see it get shut down. You know what I'm saying? But they're setting up the minds of the people to have an excuse to go over there and fulfill prophecy. Same way they did back in Iraq. They said they had weapons of mass destruction. See, they're liars. But we don't know that the Most High put a spirit in them for the king of the south to push against the king of the north. They're pushing right now. Fulfilling prophecy. This is the time Christ warned us about. And told those who believe on him, as the scriptures say, he said, let your hearts not be troubled. For all these things must occur, for these are the beginning of sorrows. But the end is not yet. So I don't know about y'all. I know it's about to get rough out here, but I'm looking forward to it. Our kingdom is coming. Our Redeemer is coming. And this is going to show you for who all you people out there who don't believe in this book. Let God be true and every man a liar. This is prophecy, baby. Prophecy. No man can write prophecy. None. Man can't tell you what we can do tomorrow. Okay? Because tomorrow is not promised to him. But this is 1,000 years way before our time. Coming to fulfillment to the T. So, let's go.
For the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence.
For the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city full of violence. See? This is why the Most High is going to judge the world for his children's sake. Who are the product of this right here? Who are the ones who getting shot innocently in the streets? Women. I seen a video a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week. A woman handcuffed in a police car. You seen that, brother?
She was 16.
I'm sorry, she wasn't a woman. She was a young lady, a teenager, 16. Get it, brother? What you say?
16 years old.
16 years old. The Most High has not forgotten his people. All these things he prophesied will happen to our children and to us. He would turn his face against us, and we would have no protection. See, that's what the nations know that we don't know. That's been their war tactic forever, since the prophet Balaam. Create a society, sell sin to them. They spend trillions of dollars every year through propaganda, media, music, promoting sin. They don't care about their own people because they've been sinning. But the target is us. See, as long as we continue in sin, they oppress us. They destroy us. Because the Most High is not protecting us. Okay, this is what we asked for. Because when we did what he said do, he protected us. So we can't accuse the Most High of nothing, because when we did what he said, no nation could touch us.
Come on.
Okay? Nor no nation could serve themselves of us. You see? That's another reason or way they became rich. Because in the Bible, you don't see what's going on right now in our communities, in the communities of our forefathers. They ate in the sacrifices, right? When no chicken fried rice been sold in Jerusalem. You get what I'm trying to say, though? So, these nations have spoiled themselves of us, have become fat, rich. Okay? But Most High has not gotten his people. This is what he prophesied. Okay? Let's get it.
Verse 24. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen.
Oh, goodness. He didn't bring this to heathen. You Jewish people, you're the worst of the heathen. Okay? God said that. The creator of all things, you are the worst of the heathen. Okay?
And they shall possess their houses, I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease.
What's the pomp? The arrogancy, the pride. Are they not prideful people, arrogant people?
Very. Read.
Trump is a Jewish pomp. Right? These people are not who they say they are. They're evil. Read.
And their holy places shall be defiled.
Our holy place is defiled by the worst of the heathen. Read.
Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none.
And they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Check it out. How can you have peace? How can a nation promise you peace? Right? I was a couple weeks ago, back when the Game of Thrones was on, right? What's it? Dany, the mother of dragons, right? Her mind was to have world peace. Her nephew asked her, well, how would you accomplish that? Right? So, this is the same mentality that these Jewish people have in the people behind the so-called New World Order. For them, it'll be peaceful. She said, anyone who don't bow to me will be destroyed. So is that peaceful for them? So their plan is to destroy God's people. Because truthfully, Jacob and Esau, obviously, in Satan's system, they can't coincide together in peace. Because one would oppress the other. You see what I'm saying? So the way they have peace is to destroy us. Right? After they had used us up to accomplish what they want to accomplish. So they can have peace because right now, I mean, if you look at one of them, they're saying that they're in fear of their life. Brother ain't did nothing, walk down the street. You're in fear of your life. So how can you have peace coincide with Jacob? So they would seek peace but would find none. Okay? Every war they had since the beginning, since World War I, they was promising, back in Vietnam, promising peace. They convinced the people that the Vietnam War was to bring peace. They convinced the people that World War I would bring peace. Well, we going on World War III now. Most High said no peace. Okay? No peace for the wicked. But let's get it.
Verse 26. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients.
So check it out. Let's go back into ancient time. When this was going on at this time with our people. Right? Most I said in the beginning, I would turn my face from them. So now that we're suffering all this violence, we will seek a prophet. Because Most High used to send a prophet to warn our people to turn back. And inform them, if they didn't turn back, this would happen. So now, they're in distress. They will seek a prophet. But the prophets that they go to are not filled with the Spirit of the Most High. As it's written, it says, mischief shall be upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then they shall seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancient. So I said, everything in the past was written as an example and a warning for us, for our time. Now we're in distress. Our people are going to churches every Sunday, hoping for a vision of the prophet. But the law should perish from the priests, and the counsel of Most High vanished. See? That's why they say the law is done away with, fulfilling prophecy. The priests, the pastors, the teachers would no longer teach God's law. All in the scriptures, folks. It says, the law shall perish from the priests, and the counsel from the ancients. What's the counsel from the ancients? The Bible. Our people will put our Bible down. Won't believe in it. They won't believe in it. Although what we're seeing right now is fulfilling itself. Most High said, all these things must come to pass, and they are coming to pass, my people. But these pastors would not be priests of his. They'll be ministers of Satan, teaching peace in a time of war. Okay? Read. Next precept.
Next precept, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 12 and 13. Once again, that's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12 and 13. And it reads, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Destruction to him or them that build a town, a country of what?
Blood.
Blood. How was this country founded?
Out of blood.
The blood of who?
Israel.
Israelites. Okay? Israelites, God's chosen people. For all those who don't know, the Native Americans, the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, all these folk are God's chosen people, part of the 10 tribes of Israel that came over here 700 years before Christ came, like 721, 720 BC. When they got over here, they found tombs and people, still living obviously, function under the law of God. With fringes on, boards of blue, following the Torah, Hebrew writings everywhere. Cities constructed just as the Bible said. Cities of refuge, all that. Priests, everything. We were not savages. Even in Columbus, in the book of Christopher Columbus, he showed how they was going back telling the king and queen in England that they found the lost 10 tribes of Israel, because Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was still in the land of Judea. But fleeing from the Assyrians, the 10 tribes who was under captivity of the Assyrians, Most High put a spirit on them and led them across the Euphrates River for a 1.5 year journey into the land that he calls Artura, which we call today the Americas. Okay? So, we were not what they said. But these liars, these robbers, always demonize who they consider as an enemy. How can we be their enemy when we was living in peace? They wanted what we wanted, but not knowing at that time too, they were fulfilling prophecy. Check it out. How did they fulfill prophecy? Well, our forefathers, the 10 tribes of Israel, made a covenant, a promise, an agreement with the Most High. He said that the law they did not keep in their own land. When they got here, they would keep his law. And when they got over here, they kept his law briefly. But they were overtaken by Satan and his fallen angels. And started worshiping the creation, and not the Most High, the Creator. So, the wages of sin is death. He said that if we don't follow his law, I just said earlier, he would send a nation, a fierce nation against us to destroy us. Your Thanksgiving? Bring back memories? That's why the Native Americans and other tribes were destroyed. Because they was breaking God's law. That's why we're here right now getting destroyed, because we're breaking God's law. That's why we left Africa for the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28:68, saying we would come over here to this land of captivity in slave ships, in ships. Because we broke his law. We started becoming Muslims. Not God showed the people follow his law. We follow Muhammad and not Ahayah. Okay? So he slayed us with another nation. Okay? So let's get it.
Establisheth a city by iniquity.
So, not only do they slaughter us, enslave us, and here's something too. Please, I don't hear no more about they use the Bible to put us in slavery.
Come on.
Make that make sense. These are the same hard-headed people the Most High says stiff-necked, rebellious.
Bring it out.
He told the prophet Ezekiel, look, don't worry about it. I'm going to send you to a nation whose language is not hard to understand. The prophesy to the wind that these people won't listen to me. So how you use the Bible to enslave these people? When the Most High spoke to them from heaven and they rebelled.
Come on, Elder.
He said that these people would not listen to the law. To get that guy that got Israel out from before us. Teach us deceit, teach us lies. So the Bible enslaved them? I'm trying to get it.
Come on, Elder.
But they would not only slaughter us, they would teach us sin. Establish a city of what? Iniquity. Sin. You cannot say this Bible ain't real. This whole construct, this whole world was built off blood and sin. Why? Because they know what the Bible says. If thou should not hearken to all these commandments that I command thee to follow this day, then all these curses should come upon thee and overtake you. So why wouldn't they establish it with sin?
Bring it out.
Because if we did hearken to all the commandments that Ahayah commanded us that day, all these blessings will come upon thee and overtake thee. You'll be above all people. It makes sense. So they established their might, their cities, by blood, by force, and iniquity. They would teach us sin. They would tell us we can eat what we want to eat. We have freedom of religion. You can do what you want to do. You can serve God how you want to serve Him. God loves all people. What God said back in the Old Testament, He's changed. He's evolved. How does God evolve?
Come on, Elder.
He said out of His own mouth, there ain't nothing new up under the sun. So how did He evolve? He says, counsel endureth forever, throughout all generations. And guess what He said too? His laws are not grievous. They wasn't back then and they ain't right now.
No.
We are living testimony that His laws are not hard to follow. Why is His laws hard to follow? See, these people are cunning. They're led by fallen angels who've been observing mankind since Adam. They sell us sin. They sell us sin. I can't take my 5-year-old son to a park or nowhere. And he's exempt from sin. Nowhere. It's all around us. Little kids, 5 years old, talking like sailors. Where they get that from? Their mamas, their daddies, their grandmamas, their granddaddies, their aunties, their cousins, their brothers, their sisters, TV, radio. Let me keep going. A system, a society of sin is how the Gentiles have established their kingdom. So, this ain't a lesson, y'all, but let the Spirit do what it do. So, because of this, the Most High gave us laws, right? And He gave us all these laws that they say is so grievous. But why did He give us laws? Why? Because there's spirits operating in this world that have deceived the whole world. So He gave His people laws, so they be holy, morally clean, separate from the world. Then He warns us, and not only does He warn us, He tells us why He gave us laws. So I'm going to read it to you. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 23. I'm going to start at verse 23. It says, after He gave us all these laws that's so hard to do, as the Christian church say, ye should therefore keep all my statutes. I'm sorry, 22. And all my judgments, and do them, that the land, whether I bring you to dwell in, spew you not out. Told you, He said that. Leviticus 20, verse 22. We didn't do it because we were sold to sin. We love sin. Man didn't want one wife, he wanted about 10. Right? Man didn't want a woman, he wanted a man. Woman didn't want a woman. I mean, the woman didn't want a man, they wanted a woman. A brother didn't want his wife, he wanted his daddy's wife. He didn't want that woman, he wanted her auntie. You see? And then people want enough, they wanted animals. So Most High gave us laws, right? 23 says, and ye should not walk in the manner of the nations or the Gentiles. Why? He said, which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things. So he gave us laws not to do what these heathen was doing.
Come on, Elder.
But no, we love sin. We want to do what they do. And then he tell you how he feel about their conduct and anyone that does what they do. He says, and therefore I abhor them, hate them. So if he hate the Gentiles who live this heathen lifestyle, how much more so do you think he hates his own people who operate in a heathenistic lifestyle or a heathen lifestyle? For all y'all think that God love y'all. If you're doing what these people do, he hates you. But he's got a mercy. He said, which is a scripture in this lesson, if the wicked man turn back from wicked ways, he will pardon his error. But most of us won't. Even though they warned, they love sin so much that they deceive themselves and believe lies. So there's a judgment that's coming to this earth. Because Most High is about fed up with sin. He's about to eradicate the sinners and the one who brought sin to the earth. And establish his righteous kingdom with all people that make it will be righteous. No more will sin ever exist. Okay? Let's get it. Where we at?
Verse 13. Behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity?
So right now, our people are laboring in vain. The fire of adversity, did he not put us in that? And see, that's when he said that he would bring back the captivity of Jacob in the last days. So right now, we're understanding why we're suffering. When I see and hear and read, it's another cop shooting, another this, another that, I'm not shocked. It's written. Blood touches blood. You say you only be oppressed and spoiled, and what do you think that means? Oppressed, spoiled. Every man will hate you. What do you think comes with that? I watched the video this recently. A white cop telling a white woman, I said this last week, I think it was. He trying to console the white lady, like be easy. You ain't black. We kill black people. You ain't black. Be hated by all nations. See? I seen a dude on some kind of drug, white dude. You know, he cop just walking all up to the police and people in the restaurant pleading with the brother, like, stop, get out. Cop bagging up off the brother. Did they tase him or something? They tased the brother. I could be wrong, but I know they didn't kill him.
No.
You know, you got a white person with his chest stuck out attacking the police. Even saw one white dude with a sword. A brother right here in my hometown years ago, Saginaw, Michigan, had a fingernail filer. He got shot over 60 times? Right across the bridge in the parking lot. And he had he was mentally challenged. But the police obviously felt so threatened by a fingernail file, they shot him over 60 times. I mean, last I checked, these hollow points kill when you can get in fire. From my knowledge, the police go to the gun range often. Trained for live action. So, I mean, y'all can wait till this get it off, huh? They unloaded multiple officers. They waited. It's like they just waited for the opportunity to just shoot a real target that looked black. I mean, they tired of shooting this paper. So you get opportunity to shoot the Israelite, they go at it. Yes, brother.
And it was 10 or more of them. So 10 or more men can whoop one man with a fingernail file.
10 or more officers was fearing for their life so desperately that they all unloaded on him. Brother had a fingernail file. But I got a white dude with a sword. You know, he's breathing right now today, probably. But anyway, only oppressed is spoiled. So when you're oppressed, there's no justice. Okay? Yes. Speak up. Speak it up, Mike.
He took the police officer's gun and then beat the police officer and got the police car and took it.
Oh, wait. The sister says she seen a white guy attacked an officer, took his gun, pistol whipped him, and got in his car and drove off.
And then running behind the car stopped.
Yep.
Now that had been up, he been dead on the spot. They come.
I mean, come on now, for real now.
Well, he beat up the cop and the lady cop.
He beat up two of them?
Two of them. That's when they changed him. Yeah, he took the billy club from him and popped him upside the head.
Now they got guns, why they didn't shoot him?
I'm telling you, they protected under the Constitution. They are real citizens of the U.S. We're not. Okay? Let's get it.
Next precept, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1 through 11.
Wow. We said these things would happen as a sign and a wonder. So as we know what that means it'd be apparent who God's people are. Those people that are suffering these atrocities. Right? The Jewish people ain't suffering, I mean, seriously. I have not seen a Jewish person shot down by the police. Have any of y'all seen that? Have you seen one of them fearing for their life day and night, so their feet having no rest? Okay. Well, you know, they have a good old time with their fake dreads. Lots. Let go.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
So Paul is saying, look, Christ told us to watch, right? For Christ's death, he assured us. No angel, neither himself, knew the time of the Lord's day. But he gave us signs. And for those who are in the know, we see the signs. So Paul said, ain't no need for me to write about the times because we don't know. But we have to watch for these signs. Right? Read.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
So this day that cometh as a thief in the night. This day that cometh as a thief in the night. So if what Christ is really saying through Paul, and Christ has warned us that a thief is coming. Right? He even gave a parable about that. So, brother, if I told you that someone that I heard these brothers about to get you tonight, what you gonna do?
You be waiting on him.
You gonna prepare yourself. So, my people, Christ has given us the signs. Are we preparing ourselves? Are we really? Are we preparing ourselves? So when we see these things going on, we watching them. Instead of in our heart be troubled, what should we be doing? Do who? Prepare. How do you get prepared, brother? Brother said get girded up in his book, in his word. You said rejoice. Both of those are true. But we can read all day long. Are we a doer of the word? That's how we prepare. We cast all our cares, everything, all iniquity, like he says, pluck it out. Cut it out. Because here's the real reason why it's not important of this day. I said it earlier. Tonight, tomorrow is not promised to you. How long have I been saying this? We can't sit here and try to, judge the time. We haven't seen the signs, so that means that what we know, the sign that we got, that unforeseen occurrences befall us all, or time and chance happens to us all. So, if tonight is not promised, how can you bank on tomorrow? A lot of us won't make it into what we're reading today. And a lot of us won't make it through it. So, what does Joshua say? Choose today, which God you're going to serve. We can't bank on time. We can't. We cannot. And I would say this from my heart. My brother and my sister, I'm glad y'all back in church. I was screaming at y'all through the video. Hope y'all watched the video. I was talking to y'all and a couple more. But that's the proof that the Most High is a merciful God. He's with y'all. He has not given up on y'all. Don't give up on him. Please. The day is drawing near. Okay? Let's go.
Verse 3. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Everyone who's talking about peace and safety, this government, these governments. See, this World War III thing, that's just the beginning of sorrows. You know, the Most High is going to allow them to, like he did with the giants. He put a spirit in them and caused them to fight against each other. Let them destroy themselves and their father, make their fathers, the fallen angel came out and had sex with the women, watch their loved ones die, kill each other. Right? Doing the same thing in our time. He put a spirit in these kingdoms, these people, to destroy one another. Then after that, the remaining, the Messiah is coming. Remember, he rides on a white horse with many crowns. He's taking all the kingdoms. Maybe one kingdom. In the kingdom, a nation of people who will not serve him, said, bring him before him and slay him. Most High is going to show his power first in the earth. His son will come finish it off. Okay? I wish we had more time, but I would love to get into this war. Then with Christ coming and going crazy, and then how it all this is for Israel's sake. Let's go.
Verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief.
So are we in darkness, brothers and sisters? Now you can be in darkness and still think you get light. Are we in darkness? It's not the saying that you're not in the know. If you're not in darkness, that means you're a child of light. Only way we can be a child of light is if we are following the light, the Messiah. So are we in light or are we in darkness, my brothers and my sisters? I pray that we are in light. Read.
Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Let us not sleep. Are our people asleep or not? Right now, the sun's shining, and I know these rulers mad right now. They hate when the sun shines. Look at planes flying all through the sky right now and trying to block the sun. Because they're children of darkness. They don't like the light. That's why most evil things happen in the night. People get drunk at nighttime and they do evil at night. It's harder to see you do evil at night than it is in the daytime. See what I'm saying? Satan operates in the night, in the darkness. Christ says, follow him as long as you have light. And for our check, Christ's spirit is about his people, so we have light. We have a beacon that we can follow, that can guide us through this dark world. Okay? Read.
For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
It says, let us, verse 8, but let us, who are of the day, who are of Christ, who are true disciples of Christ, Be sober. Get that word sober for us.
Sober. That's G3525 in the Strong's Concordance, in the Greek, and it says to be discreet, to abstain from wine, to keep sober, to watch.
To be sober, to watch, be alert, be sober-minded, right? Not intoxicated, spiritually or physically, okay? But it says, read the next part.
Verse 8.
No, yeah.
Putting on the breastplate of faith and love.
Put on the breastplate of faith. Faith in what? The Most High? What does that mean? You believe in the higher power?
Following Christ.
Following Christ? How you follow Christ?
Do what he said.
You do what he says. So we have faith, we will follow Christ. As Christ says, those who love him will do what he says. Those who don't love him, they won't do what he says. Okay? So, it says faith and love, right? Love what? Faith and love. Now, brother said what love, what faith was, right? The Most High. But love what? What you say, sister? The Most High. My brother, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. She said, love the Most High, which is the first and greatest commandment. And that's the truth. But also, must love our brethren and our sisters as we love ourselves. Right? So it says, First John chapter 5, I'm going to read what, I'm going to start at verse 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. Whosoever believeth that Yahshua is the Messiah is born of God. And we go to this all the time, brother. Right now we're dealing with the impending war and Babylon is falling. That's the title. I seen the precepts in a minute. So, this don't mean that we believe that, again, that Christ died for us. It says, whosoever believeth that Yahshua is the Messiah is born of God. What is the Messiah? He's the redeemer of a particular people. So you believe that Christ, like this war that's about to go on, is for our benefit. You're born of God. Because he's coming to redeem his people and establish his kingdom. I'm going to get back to it, right? Those who believe me, I'm going to hit you with precept on precept. Acts chapter 1 verse 6 reads, this is the apostles. So when the Messiah was coming, because they knew the Old Testament, which all they had, they believed in it. And they believed in the Messiah. Guess what? They believed that the Messiah was the Son of God. That's why they followed him. Because when Christ asked them, when the thousands of them left Christ, when he talked about that you must eat of his flesh and drink his blood, they thought it was crazy and left him. Right? Then, so the Messiah asked them, Peter, are you leaving too? Are y'all leaving too? He said, where will we go? You have the Messiah. You have words of living, of everlasting life. So they knew that he was bringing something to the earth. To the earth. They never anticipated going to heaven. So in Acts chapter 1 verse 6 it says when they, let me see. Verse 6 says, and when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? It's written that Christ the Messiah would do this. So if you believe in Christ, this is what you must believe. That he will come to earth, destroy the wicked, and establish and restore again the kingdom to his people, Israel. And how do we become part of that remnant that will be saved? Through obedience and faith. Of the law of the Most High and the testimony of Christ. This is his testimony. Okay? So, part of that goes with what we're reading. Whosoever believeth that Yahshua is the Messiah is born of God. And everyone that loveth him, that begetteth love him. And everyone that loved him, that begat, love him also, that he is begotten of him. So if you love the Messiah, you must also love his Father. If you love his Father, you must also love him. So all my Israelites who deny Christ, the love of the Father is not in you. Christ said you cannot love him and you cannot love his Father and not love him, the one he sent for you. Okay? It goes deeper. By this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. So if we love the Most High in Christ, we must also love his children. And that's what I was saying to my brothers and my sisters who have returned, hopefully forever, into the Most High say so, that y'all stay. Because we love y'all. We cannot profess to love the Most High and don't love y'all. So don't let no other spirit deceive y'all. Okay? But let's go.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, end of verse 8. And for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
And for a helmet, the hope of salvation. So in our patience and our obedience, we must have this hope. That all this stuff is happening for our sakes. For our sakes. Okay? Read.
For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahshua.
He has not appointed his obedient children into his wrath. Wrath is for the disobedient. Read.
Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we shall live together with him.
So it doesn't matter if we die today. If we die faithfully, we resurrected into our kingdom and receive immortality. Okay? And be kings and priests with our Lord for 1,000 years.
Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do.
We must do this, people. So my people, everybody that's in this room, when we have a get together, come. Come. Make no excuses. Come. It's a commandment. It says, wherefore, comfort yourselves together. If all people think they know you ain't gotta go to church, the Bible don't teach that. It don't teach loneliness, independency. It's a reason we must come together. Why? It says, wherefore, comfort yourselves together. There's comfort in us coming together for any occasion. Mm-hmm. Right? Not this church. And edify one another. See? Build one another up spiritually. Build one another up spiritually. But the devil wants you all to be separated, isolated. So you don't do this. This is strength building. Even as also ye do. 12. And we beseech you, we beg you, brethren, to know them which labor among you. How can you know them that labor among you if you're not with them? Gathering, fish fry, whatever it is. Wherever it is, come. Come. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Next precept, the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verses 1 through 20.
Burden in Babylon. Here we go. For those who understand this, the Most High also calls this place that we reside on Babylon. Why? Because if you know this, all these churches, their doctrine come from the Babylonians. We're operating as the Babylonians. How they did under Nimrod. We're still serving the same gods. Right? Worshiping the sun god. Okay? Christianity is Babylonian paganism. Right? Islam, Babylonian paganism. Okay? So, let's get it. Isaiah chapter 13, we're going to start at verse 1 and go to 20. Here's the warning. Now, like I said, some of this occurred in Isaiah and Jeremiah's time, Ezra's time. Okay? And some of this will occur in the future, what's going on right now. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand When you shake hand, that's making an agreement. Okay? Shake the hand. They that may go into the gates of the nobles. So they make contracts with our elders, with our so-called leaders. That's how they brought us down. By bribing our leaders, corrupting them. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Are they not doing that today? Are they not surrounded? All these nations have not their armies and their ships and their tanks around Iran right now? Right? But like I said, that's the fulfillment of what's to come. Because they're going to start down there and destroy Israel, then come to Babylon. Then destroy Asia. Okay? We'll read all this. Ahayah, the Lord of hosts, or the God of spirits, mustered the host of the battle. So who mustered this up? The Most High is causing this. He caused it to happen back then, and he caused it to happen right now. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. I'm sorry, brother. Let me send you the precepts.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Most High, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Now, see, for those who understand, like I'm saying, how the Most High talk, he talks about the present, then he talks about the future. When he destroyed Babylon at that time, he did not destroy the whole land. So he's talking about then and now. It's all in the same talk, in all the same speech. Because he see the whole thing. So he's telling you what's going on right now and what's to come. Okay? To destroy the whole land. So there's no escaping this, what's coming. You can't flee from this. The whole land's gonna get it. The whole earth will be destroyed. On earth with the people that do wicked, that do evil. Read.
Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand.
Howl ye, for the day of the Most High is at hand. Read.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth.
It says the whole land, my people, this ain't time to fear. Right? The whole land will be what? As a woman in travail. The woman who's about to give birth. Right at the part where the baby about to come out. That part. Okay? Read.
They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
Their faces should be as flames. What is the Most High talking about? Read, keep reading.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Destroy who?
The sinners thereof.
That's what it's all about, people. He said that their faces will be as flames. Now, we done watched many movies that the demons have prepared us for this day. When there's a nuclear bomb, what happens? People what?
Burn up.
Burn up. The Bible describes a nuclear war that's about to take place. And not only that, even the armies have microwave technology that will melt you standing up. They're using all this, people. Okay, read.
Verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
So why is all this really going on? Is this just that the Most High don't like Gentiles?
For their wickedness.
For their wickedness, for the sins. Remember, we said they have built cities, countries of blood and iniquity. This is why the coming destruction is coming. Okay? Read.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
So all those countries right now, especially America, who think that their technology is more advanced than any other country, they cannot be defeated. He will bring them down low. Read.
And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Check it out now. All right? Okay. When these wars are popping off, it says many would die by the slaughter, by the war, by the sword. He's not talking about just any man. A righteous man would be finer, more valuable than gold. Okay? Read.
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Most High, the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land.
In case you don't know, this is happening right now. Right? Check it out. It says every man will flee to their own land, to their own people. Where would Israel flee? Where would Israel flee?
Water.
Thank you, man. Water. Right? Read. Israel think they from America, Jamaica, Australia, Hawaii, the UK, Canada. They don't know. Majority of people don't know where they from. They argue down they African American, but these folks know where their homeland is and go there frequently. Got dual citizenship. Okay, let's go.
Verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
What?
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
Everyone that is found during this war should be thrust through.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
Now check this out, people. I mentioned earlier about these pastors teaching peace in a time of war. I promise you, it's not a church in Saginaw, Michigan right now teaching what we're teaching right now. They're talking about prosperity. What the good is prosperity when he says that? It says, your children also should be dashed in pieces before your eyes. It comes as a thief in the night, because when they go on, it's on and popping. Ain't no escaping it. Their houses should be spoiled and their wives ravished. That'll mean this ain't us, my Israelite brothers. This is the Gentiles taking down Babylon the Great. Okay? Destroying men, women, children, old men, old women, sparing no one. What good would your money do for you then? In this hour? So should we be planning, hoping for prosperity or redemption from what's coming?
Redemption.
That's why it's such blasphemous talk and teaching to teach this prosperity garbage. The science, like we all knew, like Christ says, when the buds start coming up on the tree, we knew spring was coming. And when the leaves start coming, we knew summer was coming. When the temperature changed, we know summer was here. Why don't we see the science of what this Bible says? How should you know if one don't teach you? This world is not going to continue to go on forever and ever. Sin has grown to a head. He's coming to destroy the sinners.
Come on.
Read.
Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them.
He will stir up who?
The Medes.
Who are the Medes?
Iran.
The Iranians. Who gonna stir them up?
Most High.
Most High. And for those who understand, like Abinadab, the old president, they confident. They read our Bible. They know what it says. They're not worried about America. They know that they have the Most High Spirit in them to fulfill His purpose against the arrogancy of the Jewish people, of the rulers of Babylon the Great. They know that they'll be used to destroy this place. So no matter how much tough talk Trump them talk, it don't matter. They ain't worried about it.
Bring it out.
They ain't worried about it at all, bro. Like, come on. They know these people liars and robbers. The treaty don't mean nothing to them. Neither does it mean anything to the Americans. It has nothing to do with sanctions and stuff on how much uranium you can have. It got nothing to do with it. The war is coming. They know that. So let's imagine I'm the president of Iran. Know what the Bible say about these people. Know what it say about me. They just playing the game. They just playing the game like, hey, we can make it do what it do. We can sign this treaty. The Bible says you're gonna break the treaty anyway, which you always do. You're gonna get all tough and get all arrogant, prideful. But when it says when you attack the Medes, it's over. Because He'll put His Spirit in other countries to attack Babylon the Great and destroy it in 1 hour. Now that don't mean 1 hour, literally like 60 minutes. Okay? A short period of time, she should be destroyed. Okay? Let's go.
Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in
You
it.
can't bribe these people. They already know what the deal is. In real talk, though, and this is me talking as a man, because the Bible said that the kings will bring us the riches of the Gentiles. So some of these kings will serve Christ. I got a feeling this is me. Some of these brothers is going to serve us and be in our kingdom. Because, I mean, think about it. How foolish would it be? Let's say up in the jab, right? The new president, I forgot his name. What's his name? You guys name? But knowing that the Most High has used you to destroy this people, and when it happened, would you not serve Christ? See, brothers, we're not forcing these Gentiles to serve us. Christ's gonna give them opportunity to come before Him and make a decision. But it just makes sense to me. If Most High used me to destroy America, I'm serving the God of the Hebrews because He's the one that said this and had did this, done this. You get me? But let's go.
Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, and their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency.
Now, do y'all know who the Chaldeans or the Chaldees are? These are they're Babylonians. If those don't know, these people are Shemitic. They're from Abraham. They're not Israelites, but they are Shemitic. Okay? But the Chaldees or the Chaldeans are the so-called magic practicing priests, like back in Pharaoh's day, in Edom's day, the magic practicing priests. These are the so-called wise men of Babylonians. Okay? Read.
The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
So this is how we understand that now this is prophecy. It's not talking about Babylon, because Babylon is still functioning right now. It's inhabited right now. The biblical Babylon is inhabited right now today. Okay, so when we get into Revelation, they're gonna say that this place right here, the daughter of Babylon, will never be inhabited, and that's what the disciple John the Revelator got his writings from. We're reading right now from the prophets. Okay, read. How was Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? Fire. How is this place gonna get destroyed? Fire. Nuclear bombs. It's about to go down. Once we get into this lesson a little deeper, we gonna get this. Okay, let's go.
Neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
Remember that. Where's the Arabians pitching their tent at right now? Huh? Where the Arabs at? Right where? Right around the corner, down the street, at East Store. They pitch their tent and they are serving themselves off God's people. Neither should they do that anymore. No nation will serve itself of us ever again. Ever again. Okay? We will only eat what the Most High tells us to eat, not for no other nation. They will eat what we eat. Read.
Next precept.
Yes.
Isaiah chapter 54, verses 16 and 17.
Notice how I said, it said you can't bribe these people. They ain't sparing no one. Pregnant women, nobody. They slaughtered them all. Like when the Most High told Saul to destroy the Amalekites, the Amalekites, they ain't gonna disobey his order. They gonna destroy all that they find. See? That's why I'm telling you right now, it's not the time to be trying to be successful in America. She's falling. Babylon is falling. Right now, she's crumbling like the Twin Towers. She's crumbling down right in our faces. Read.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
Most High has allowed these evil spirits to fulfill His will in the minds of the people. They have taught them weapons of destruction. He's allowed it. He's allowed it. Read.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Most High, and their righteousness is of me, saith Ahayah.
It's talking about who? His servants that are righteous. That are righteous. No weapon that formed against you should prosper. Okay? No weapon. Does that mean we all going to make it through this fire? No. So did that weapon destroy you? The only thing that can destroy you is disobedience. So when the Most High said that no harm should come to His people, He ain't talking about your fleshly death. Because He says many of us got to die as our brethren, and as Christ died. But no harm, that means, like how Christ says, you live in His sight. You don't die to death. We don't want to die to death in disobedience. Because then, you're cast to a lake of fire. Right? But let's go.
Next precept, Jeremiah chapter 50, starting with verses 12 through 38, then 40 through 46.
Everything we see right now is being stirred up by the Most High. These people are not just organically, preparing for war. Okay? It's going to show you that wherever the Most High purpose, no one can stop it. Read.
Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed.
Where we at? Isaiah. I'm in Jeremiah. Isaiah 54?
No, Jeremiah 50.
Jeremiah 50?
Yep. Jeremiah 50, starting with verse 12.
Okay.
Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about.
Now, Most High is putting His Spirit in the other nations. Right? Read.
All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her.
Now, they ain't bending bows right now. Bows was a light thing to what they have now. When they had the bows, they just put the fire on that thing and they shoot. It like, y'all, anybody watch the Game of Thrones? No, you don't. But I'm talking, bro. Hey, bro. But bro, hey man, but they showed you a real picture of what the Most High saying like back in the day. The whole thing, man. They put the fire that thing and shooting things in the air. Thousands of them go up and come down, destroying people. Right? Mimicking what be done on a greater scale with these missiles. See what I'm saying? Now these are real bows, the missiles that's coming. So he's talking about bows right now, he's talking about missiles. Okay? Let's go.
Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Most High.
She did what? Sin against the Most High. How did Babylon the Great sin against the Most High?
Teaching his people to sin.
Kind. What else? Brother said, teaching his people to sin. Okay. These Jew people are the Edomites, part of the Edomite family, right? This is how they sin against the Most High. Obadiah chapter 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Most High concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Ahayah, and an ambassador is sent an ambassador is sent among the heathen. This ambassador is the Messiah. So this is after we're talking about right now. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, though thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks, you come from the Caucasus Mountains, and from Mount Sierra. Yahweh worshippers, Satan worshippers. Mount Sierra is also known as the Mountain of Satan, and that's why they called y'all the serpent people back in the day. Whose habitation is high, that says in his heart, who should bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, giving you a physical picture now, who they are. Who is the eagle? All countries have symbols for a reason. The Most High, this is prophecy. He's showing what they do. They exalt themselves as the eagle. Who is the eagle? Rome, America, Babylon the Great. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, says the Most High. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All men of, it says, now it's talking about the sin that you have done. Not only did you put us in slavery and do what you did to us, you took everything. You left nothing for his people. Okay? I'm going to keep reading. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. You see? All these countries that you had alliance with, they're coming against you because of the Most High put in their spirit to it. And prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, says Ahayah, even destroy the wise out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Timon, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. It says the mount of Esau, not all Edomites, right? The mount, the governing body, those who are ruling, not all Esau or Edomites. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. This is the sin the Most High is talking about. Esau and our father Jacob were twin brothers. There's a such thing called a brotherly covenant. Esau broke it. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stood up on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives, his forces are riches. We talked about it earlier. You robbers. And foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Remember they came into and defiled our land? Even thou was as one of them, but thou should have not looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Though thou should have not had entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou should have not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. For the day of the Lord, the day of the Most High, is near upon all the heathen. The heathen are non-Israelites. Not this Esau, all of them, because they all was in confederacy against us. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain. Let's get this. Remember he said, remember our land was vacant. The Most High kicks us off our land and scatters. I said that earlier. And he brought the worst, he allowed the worst of the heathen to enter into our land. What have they done? What have they done? For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they should swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. They're having a good time right now. But a minute like Christ told that Samaritan woman, the hour coming when you or your people will not worship on this mountain. But upon Mount Zion should be deliverance. This is what is all going on for people. The deliverance of Zion, deliverance of God's people. And there should be holiness. In the house of Jacob should possess their possessions. So, my Christians, it does matter who you are. There are such things in the kingdom right now of a Gentile and an Israelite. We're not the same people. You cannot convert into Jacob.
Come on.
Now you can serve Christ and be an obedient Gentile, but they'll make you an Israelite. And there's no such thing as spiritual Israelite. The Bible don't speak of such. For Jacob will possess our possessions, the things that belong to us. And guess what that is? Everything.
Come on.
In the house of Jacob should be a fire. In the house of Joseph, a flame. In the house of Esau, for stubble. And they should kindle in them and devour them. And there should not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Ahayah has spoken it. Okay? So, Most High said that he will take out a remnant of Esau for his name, and all the heathen for his name. Those that will serve Christ. So it's not talking about all of Esau. The same way he's talking about all of Israel will be saved, because only 10% of 10% of Jacob will be saved. Okay? So all of Israel that would be saved is all those who was obedient, that remnant. All of Esau that would be saved or taken out for his name is all those that was obedient to the God of the Hebrews. And all the rest would be destroyed like all the rest of the Israelites. Let's get it.
Jeremiah chapter 50.
So that was the sin of what the Most High is talking about. No, I didn't get the book. Go get it. Let's get back to it.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 15. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Most High.
It's the vengeance of the Most High. This is why it's happening, people. Let's go.
Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest.
If this go down, ain't no more planting and harvesting. It's over. Read.
For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Israel is a scattered sheep.
Israel is a scattered sheep, though. See? These folks came over here by choice. We didn't. Read.
The lions have driven him away.
The lions have driven us away. Read.
First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him.
See, not real lions. The lions are the kingdoms. Right? First went to captivity with the Assyrians, read.
First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. Therefore,
why did this happen, though? Disobedience. Okay? Read.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel.
The God of who?
The God of Israel.
The God of the whole world.
The God of Israel.
The God of Israel. The Most High don't make mistakes. He says continuously through this Bible. Read.
Behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria. And I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead.
He did this and would do it ultimately for the final time. Read.
In those days and in that time, said the Most High, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found. For I will pardon them whom I reserve.
You get that? This is that remnant that we're talking about. It's for their sakes the Most High is doing this. Christ says, for the elect's sake. See, that remnant will be faithful servants. He said, those that he had reserved. So that mean all Israel? Nah. Though he said that their iniquity will be sought. Most High sent his angels out and said, search Jerusalem with a reed. Right? The Most High knows who his people are. It's for their sake this is going down. He had prepared a reward for his servants. The ones that he had reserved. Read.
Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekah. Waste and utterly destroy after them, said the Most High, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Most High.
How are they striving against the Most High? And he talking about us right now. He's talking about the so-called Americans right now. Let's say the Americans right now. How are they striven against the Most High? How they fought against the Most High? How they fight against the Most High right now? Oh, presidents, people, what else? They're teaching what?
The whole system, basically.
The whole system? What are they promoting? homosexuality, everything against God's word. They're fighting against the Most High. They're not. It's like, seriously, the Most High will save them if they humble themselves and acknowledge that they are above God's people for a chastisement, and will honor the brotherly covenant that goes back to, say, for example, the same covenant that Ahayah made with Abraham. He said, "Blessed is the nation that bless you, and curses the nation that curse you." So if they would handle God's people, right? Who that? Cyrus? Was it Cyrus? Sorry, I think it was Cyrus, right? The Most High put a spirit on Cyrus, and Cyrus wrote letters and sent us back home. Empty out all the treasures that go into our temple that the king had brought into their temple, and sent them back to Jerusalem with the people, which the Most High was temple, which He did already, and gave them substance and money to rebuild their temple. So he showed favor to God's people. The Most High blessed them. So if America would do the same thing, acknowledge and proclaim who God's people are and where they are, they know who and where we are, and bless us and not curse us, He will pardon their error. But remember, their pomp, the arrogant, the evil, they would never do this. That's why it says when Christ come back, He said that when He came, He tried the wine fat. And the people, there was none with Him. None of these elites are going to, these Edomites, that Mount Esau, are going to submit to Christ. None of them. And He's going to destroy them. Right? So because of this, they are sinning against God. They set the whole system against His people. They taught us lies, false doctrines, promoted Satanism. Right? Teaching us, like I said, they released the atheists. They released what's called people, the nihilists, the ones who don't believe in nothing. They have done everything to defy the Most High. Okay? Let's go.
Verse 25. The Most High hath opened His armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of His indignation. For this is the work of Ahayah, God of hosts, and the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Ahayah our God.
This is what I was bringing up earlier, my people. Let's break this down. Okay? Hold on, let me get this right here. Hold on. Read that right there again.
Verse 28. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Ahayah our God, the vengeance of His temple.
So it says, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion. If Christ tells us that we will not return to Zion until he lead us, how are we for the scripture? It was already done, my people. They walked. Like I said, it's 900 miles from Babylon to Jerusalem. They escaped on foot and done this. When this was going on, they people went back and informed the people and we rejoiced. Okay? It says, it declared in Zion the vengeance of Ahayah our God, the vengeance of his temple. Then I just told you what Cyrus did. So, okay? Ezra, all of them returned back to Jerusalem. After this. Keep reading.
Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Most High, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Most High. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith Ahayah, God of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about them. Thus saith the Most High, Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
They did what? Refused to let us go. They continue to press us harder and harder and harder. To destroy us worse and worse and worse. That's a sin against the nations, against his people. They refuse to let us go. Right?
The Redeemer is strong.
Now check out. The Most High never told no nation, told us to go no nation and we're gonna, get some reparations. So all my people trying to get reparations, that's not prophecy. When we was coming out of Egypt, the Most High could have told Moses, hey, go to Pharaoh and tell him that y'all owe me. Pay my people. Or I'm going to destroy you. So let my people go so they can worship me in their own land. What's the Most High saying right now? Show mercy to my people. You show mercy to my people, I show mercy to you. But they would I will come gather my people from all the places I have scattered them and set them in their own land. Set them in their own land. We ain't looking for no reparations. We wait for our kingdom. Read.
Their Redeemer is strong. Ahayah, the Lord of hosts, is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land, and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Most High, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars.
The who?
The liars.
The who?
The liars.
They do. They say they choose, but they are not. They do lie. Christ quoted scripture. The liars. All you can't believe. None of these people say. Nothing. They lie. That's all they do is lie. They lying right now. They lying on everybody but themselves. They're the most morally clean people in the world. And he said, you the worst of the heathen.
Come on.
Okay? Read.
And they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed.
Y'all do all the training you want to do. All your little exercises, it ain't going to matter. Read.
A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women.
The who? The mingled people, right? What's in America right now? The who?
Multitude of different
A
people.
multitude, and they become as who?
A mixture.
Who? Men would come as women? How do you open up this whole conversation? I said, I'm watching a recap of the NBA draft, Our men looking like women. Forget the looking like part. How they acting? Like women. Our men will be as women. Let's go.
A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images.
To who?
The land of graven images.
How many of y'all traveling here? Anybody that travel? You all travel? Can you not go on the highway? Can y'all not go on the highway and see? I come out of Ohio a couple weeks ago. I swear they got like 100-foot Jesus. Big old white Jesus. Big old, maybe 200 feet. He huge. You seen him? You to right this boom, big old statue, man. Like, whoa. It remind me of like back in the biblical time. Say what? Yeah, you see him too? You seen him? Everywhere you go, for example, right around the corner, these so-called 7-day Adventists, right? Ain't that how you say them? Right? People didn't know. Right there in the hood. That's a phallic symbol. Right by the train track. That big old point, that's a phallic symbol. That's the male part of Nimrod. A phallic symbol. Right? These churches, crosses, mosques, idols. It's filled with idols, graven images. I told you, this is Babylon the Great. All their religions stem back to their mother. And the sad thing about it, check it out, the images. We had the phallic symbol for Nimrod too, right? They also had a big old statue of Nimrod, like half man and half lion. Okay, but who was his so-called mother and wife? Semiramis, right? So she was the queen. She was the fake queen of heaven. We know the Holy Spirit is the true queen of heaven, but Semiramis is supposed to be the queen of heaven, right? So if you're the queen of heaven, that means like you're the mother or whatever, you know what I'm saying, of God, because she was Nimrod's mother. When you come into America, what do you see? Hey, Statue of Liberty, that's Statue of Semiramis. The same God. They call it Statue of Liberty because Semiramis gives, I guess, liberty to these sinners. So you come into the country, you see the mother of the son God. Not the son of God, but the son God. Nimrod. The Babylonian king. The same God we're serving right now. The Christmas tree is called a Nimrod stick. Okay? So, okay, you can change the name. You get images of what? So-called Mary and baby Jesus. Well, who was Mary for real? Semiramis and her son Tammuz. It goes back to Babylon. So that's almost like it's Babylon the Great. It's the same gods, different names. Same religions, different names. Get it? They had temple prostitutes. Temple prostitutes. Guess who are the temple prostitutes today? The nuns. Man, this thing is deep. See, but Most High knows all this. He called it what it is. This is why destruction is coming in America, and you can't do nothing about it. So I pray, my brothers and sisters, come out of her, my people. Come out of their philosophies and their religions and serve the one and only true living God, Ahayah, the God of Hebrews. That's the only way you're going to save. You save out of this situation, which is one of our last scriptures of this lesson. Well, let's go.
Verse 40. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Ahayah, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein.
So, is people living? I think Babylon is Iraq right now, right? Right? I mean, Babylon right now is so-called Iraq. Is people living there right now? So, it ain't talking about their time right now. It's talking about this one. Read.
Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance.
Now, who destroyed the Babylonian Empire? The Medes and the Persians. Okay? So this not it says who we at?
41.
41. Behold, a people should come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings should be raised up from the coast of the earth. So the whole coast, all these other armies did not destroy Babylon. Means the Persians did. Now, all the other nations about to come and destroy Babylon the Great. The same one that she conspired with, that was drunk off her wine, about to turn against her. They can't. Matter of fact, even back in our day, people love America. These nations, these nations have never spoke so much against America as they're doing right now. Yeah, turned them against the whole. I'm trying to tell you, this is all the stirring up of the Most High against Babylon the Great. Let's go.
Verse 42. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and
This ain't no bow again, these missiles, but let's go.
will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon.
O daughter of Babylon. Babylon the Great. Okay? Let's get it. America comes from Babylon. Let's go.
The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as a woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me?
Who's the shepherd then? What's the job of the shepherd of the flock? So who's gonna fight against the Most High? That's what he's saying. You may come up like a lion, but I'll make him run away. What shepherd is gonna fight against the Most High? They're gonna try. Right now, they know this. That's why they got the little space army going on. They know what's coming on. They know it. Does Satan not know that his destruction is coming? Is he not fighting? So is his children. They're going out with a bang. But let's go.
Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Most High, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans.
These magic practices and sorcerers. Let's go.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved.
At the noise of the falling of Babylon, the whole earth is moved. Just imagine how it's going to affect the world when America is destroyed. An inconceivable thought. But they have programmed for 400 years how powerful they were. There was no nation greater than them. Was there a nation greater than the Egyptians during the Egyptian empire? If my brothers and sisters who it's just Egyptology and all this conscious movement, all this stuff, who think y'all Egyptians, okay? There's more black people than there's Egyptians. We're reading about some black people right now. That's Babylonians. Okay? These are the same Babylonians that took down the Egyptians. That's how they had their world power. They took down black people. Black people took down black people. So everybody ain't African or Egyptian. There's other history outside Egypt, the Egyptian history. Assyrians, black people. The Philistines or Palestine, Philistines, black people. All people that was put in captivity, black people called Israelites. Okay? So it just don't start with, like, Egypt is everything. They had their time of rule, like all other nations over God's people. And it killed me, like everything started for Egypt, like Egypt is just this and that, like you Egyptian, like what? go be like how we have done in our history. We have gone out before our slavery coming out of Africa and found that we're the people of God. Go before the Egyptian Empire. You find other black people ruling. Okay? Babylonians. From the seed of Abraham. Let's get it.
Next precept, Jeremiah chapter 51, starting at verse 41.
Abraham wasn't no white dude either. Okay? And for those people asked this question before, how are we so-called Hebrew Israelites? It's outside of the topic, but let's get it. Does not the Most High call himself the God of Hebrews? The God of Israel? So who are the Hebrews? In Most High, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are Hebrews. Who are Israelites? Descendants of Jacob. So if our father was a Hebrew, are we not Hebrews? If our father is so the Israelite, or how you would call it, this would mean you're a son of Israel. So we're Hebrew Israelites. He's the God of Hebrews. I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hebrews. Are they children not what they are? Israelite just means that you're a son of Jacob. That's it. Now, y'all go run and tell that. But let's go.
Verse 41. How is Shashash taken?
Where you at?
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 41.
Okay.
How is Shashash taken? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The sea is come up upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof.
Now I'm going to tell y'all. They even got it on $100 bill. When these missiles and these bombs start getting shot in the air and hitting America, guess what it's going to cause? Tsunamis. They got on $100 bill now that New York is going to be taken down or drowned with a tsunami. There'll be many tsunamis. It says the waters will cover her. Let's go.
Her cities are a desolation, a dry land and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doeth any son of man pass thereby. And I will punish Baal in Babylon.
Who is Baal? Belial, Satan. Right? Let's get it.
And I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up.
What did he swallow up?
God's people.
God's people. Ready?
And the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall.
The people will not flow any longer into this country. We're going to get this in the book of Revelations. They'll be mourning over her destruction. Let's go.
My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Ahayah.
Let me ask you a question. Read that again.
My people,
Go
ye out of the midst of her.
Go ye out of the midst of her.
And deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Most High.
Deliver everyone your soul from the fierce wrath of anger of the Most High. Who's I talking about first? The God of this world, Satan. He will deliver those who he swallowed up. How did he swallow his God people up? Through religions. Come out of the midst of her. What has caused the Most High's fierce anger against his people? Their iniquity. Get it? Come out of her, my people. Come out of the mouth of Satan. What the Most High is talking about. Because like I said, you can, I mean right now, because they fled from Babylon to Jerusalem. They've still been sinners. Because they were, eventually. All you can save yourself from the fierce wrath of the Most High is through obedience to his law. But he told you what he's dealing with, Satan, and what he has caused, and how he, like even in the book of Revelations, where it said that he had caused a flood. Right? So the earth would help the woman to what? Huh? No, the earth would help the woman from the flood,
Of the lies.
from the lies, in the philosophies, ideologies, in the religions. It's right here. Revelation chapter 12, verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, which is Israel, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman. Our records helped the woman. The crime and claims, yeah, we got our records, some of our records back. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth and angry with the woman, angry with Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Yahshua, the Messiah. See? It's all coming, it's the same thing. Those writings came from the prophets. So that's how we come out of her. Let's go.
Jeremiah 51.
And no, sorry. Every time we fled, guess what we did? We fled together. In 70 AD, when we 76 AD, when we fled from Jerusalem, we fled together. Out of Babylon, we fled together. How can we fly together now? We scattered people in the four corners of the earth, everywhere. Even Christ said that when he comes, he's gonna bring the northern kingdom from where he at right now, from the islands, from over in Canada, all over the place. So how can we cannot? Christ is going to gather us. Come out of her, my feet. Come out of the mouth of Satan. Read.
Unless your hearts faint, and ye fear for the rumor.
I'm sorry. And the prophets, with the Spirit of the Most High, led us. Do research. Ezra and them led the people back to the homeland. The prophets of the Most High. Read.
Unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, and rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler.
Are we hearing rumors right now? What's the rumors, y'all? Trump just said that that he's about to set off shoot the missile, but 10 minutes before he was about to go down, he pulled it back. It's called pushing against the king of the South. This is a rumor. They're preparing for the war. These are rumors we're hearing. How long have we been hearing about this war with the Iranians? How long have we been knowing about it? I've been knowing about it since I've been in the church. You know what I'm saying? So, Because Russia is right along with the Americans. Okay? So, but I gotta take that back. Most High said he would turn all of them against America. So, let's go. Because Russia, like all the rest of them, was once confederate with America. Let's go.
Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded.
See, the graven image represents what? Fallen angels, the gods of this world, and their religions that have deceived the whole world. And Israel, again, is scattered through the four corners of the earth, and we are drowned by the flood of the devil. Read.
And her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, shall sing for Babylon. For the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, said the Most High.
The angels will be happy about this one. Let's go.
As Babylon has caused the slain of Israel to fall, so
Who caused the slain of Israel to fall? Babylon. Read.
so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember, Ahayah far off, And let Jerusalem come into your mind.
And let Jerusalem come into your mind. Why do we pray to the east, my people? To let Jerusalem come into our minds. We're not praying to the sun. But this is the faith and the hope that we have that the Most High will save His people and through the Messiah will bring us back home into our own land, except for our kingdom. It's what our heart desire. Read.
We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame hath covered our faces. For strangers are come into the sanctuaries of the Most High's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, said the Ahayah, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, said the Most High. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because Ahayah hath spoiled Babylon, and destroyed out of her the great voice. When her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voice is uttered, because the spoiler is come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows is broken, for Ahayah, God of recompenses, shall surely requite. And I will make drunk her princes, and her wise men, her captains, and her rulers, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith the King, whose name is Ahayah, the Lord of hosts. Thus saith Ahayah, Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall utterly be broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary.
And they should be worried. There's nothing that these people can do to prevent or deter the wrath of the Most High. All the army, the weaponry, all the military might will not stand in this day. Okay? How they protect themselves back in that day, they had great walls and stuff. Now they got all kind of tanks and military technology. It don't matter what you do. Okay? Next precept.
Next precept, Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12 and 13. Once again, that's Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12 and 13.
Verse 12 reads, And this shall be the plague wherewith Ahayah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. This is the plague the Most High is going to get all the nations who have fought against His people. Right? It's the same thing. This is an example in layman's terms, right? Brother, you got children. You got 2 daughters. If someone bother your 2 daughters, what you gonna do?
Bother them.
Bother them, right? Protect them. So right now, let's say somebody bother your. No, I won't say that. But let's say somebody. Okay. You may not get them right now, but in your mind, you're planning for your recompense. It's the same thing going on with God's people, right? Our people think because we live like in a world of time that God has been delaying His recompense. But we're gonna get them in the scriptures where it shows you that how the Most High sees things. He has not forget. What they do right now, they're gonna get it. Everyone that has touched and bothered His children will be destroyed. Oh, you'll be more righteous than the Most High, right? If you feel justice for your children, how more so the Most High feels for His children, who created them? You see what I'm saying? So we're 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Ahayah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand on their feet. Fire. Their flesh shall what?
It's like that nuclear bomb.
A nuclear bomb. Also, Christ is coming with fire. Right? It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in the holes, in your sockets of your eye, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Be melted alive. You understand that, people? Fire is coming to this earth, one way or the other. Right? Real time, people standing up, whoop, melted, standing up. Why? For fighting against God's people. He really loves us, my people. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Ahayah shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Remember what Christ said? Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem. Where we at? No, that's going deeper into the future. Where we at? 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 to 15. So right now we have people who mock us and say, I got family members here who say, man, it's something going on forever, man, way back in the day. You know, it ain't gonna never change. No, earth, no, it's gonna, what is it? It's gonna play itself out and then recycle, I guess. You know, somehow it's gonna start over again. It's gonna start over again, but not as my people think. But like I was saying, the Most High is not slack concerning his judgment. Verse 9, chapter 3, 2 Peter reads, for Ahayah is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering towards usward. Who is usward? Israelites. Not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. See, that's what it's all about. So my people in these churches think that your pastor lied to you and told you you were saved. Only way out of this right here is repentance. And that don't just mean that you're sorry for what you did yesterday or even today. That means you are that, but then you sin no more. That means you break God's law no more. You can't continue repenting and continue sinning. Christ says, go and sin no more. So that means we have to keep his commandments and the testimonies of Christ. As we just read in Revelations, it says Satan has gone and made war with the remnant of the Most High's children who keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Christ. See? Only out of this madness. 10. But the day of Ahayah will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Fervent heat. People will be destroyed standing on their feet. As we just read, eyes in their sockets, melting away. The earth also and the works that are therein shall burn up. This earth will be purified of all traces of Satan. Read, please.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Read that again.
Seeing then all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
My people, understanding what's going on right now, what we're reading, how this earth's going to be destroyed with fire, nuclear bombs, Christ, all that. What type of person should you be? How should your conduct, how should your behavior be right now? We just read, told you, we're not promised tomorrow. What manner of person should you be? If you're claiming that you serve Christ or know Christ, what manner of person should you be? Read that again, my brother.
Seeing then that all these things should be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Conduct is behavior and speech. Conversation is. Say that again. Holiness and godliness, righteousness, I mean, you're obedient to the Most High's laws and commandments. But I want to read something to you. Right? It's fire. Knowing that, remember the Most High said some of the people will not be harmed through this fire. Isaiah chapter 43, I'm going to read verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, remember we talked about the waters covering the earth? These tsunamis? I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flames kindle up on thee. All who believe in the Most High and His Son as the Messiah, the Most High is talking to you. He will protect you to fulfill His purpose. Some of us will die righteously. Most of us will die unrighteously. Many examples that the Most High has given us of how the Most High loved when a servant of His died gloriously and died righteously. But some of His servants will walk through the fire, will walk through the waters, will walk because He will protect us. Okay? Let's go. Next precept.
Down to 15.
Yeah.
A few more verses. Verse 12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless,
I create a new heavens and a new earth. Sin started in heaven first, people. Then He cast down the originator of sin to the earth in great wrath. He's wiping everything that reminds Him of that devil out of His sight. I create new heavens and a new earth. Okay? I mean, He got to destroy the earth totally. He's going to purify it and tell her to do what He's telling her to do. Read.
nevertheless, we, according to His promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Who?
Righteousness.
No more sinning. What Christ has created for the Most High and for His people, none but righteousness. Read.
Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of Him in peace, without spot and blameless.
Righteous. Not willfully sinning. Seeing this is coming. Knowing the hope that the Most High promised us. Make sure that we're found by the angels in peace with the Most High. Unblemished. Not in sin. If we are, His wrath is reserved for us, and that fire will devour us. And the angels will snatch our souls up and drag us down the hill. Okay? Read.
And account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you.
So count right now with the Most High, His long suffering right now, because trust me, the angels want Him to destroy this place. But His long suffering is our salvation, like for real, like this imagine, brother. If last year the Most High would destroy this place, where would you be going? Where would you be at right now? Getting tormented. You see what I'm saying? So we be thankful for His mercy. You see? He woke us up, gave us another opportunity. Get it right today. I mean, when I read this, hey, you did. Ain't no other conversation going on, but let me get it right. I pray I got it right tonight. I hope my angels go up and give me a good, go with glad tidings, a good report. Today. If be His will, He give me grace tomorrow and wake me up. Do this again. So whatever I didn't get right today, I can get right tomorrow. That's our mentality we must have. Ain't no, I'm struggling with this. This is hard. I can't do this. All right. What did the Bible say last week? I read it. I'm serious, people. This is real. I mean, this is prophecy. Ain't no excuses. It says, suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say, thou be, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 6. Suffer not, allow not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. How can your mouth cause you to sin? One of the ways. First way is about making a vow to the Most High. Okay, and not paying it. Okay? Also, making excuses. That's stuff in your mouth to cause your flesh to sin. Because it's too hard for you when you calling the Most High a liar. It goes further. Neither say thou before the who? The angel. Neither say before the angel that's coming for you. Whether you believe it or not. Most High would not write it like that if it wasn't so. That it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry with thy voice and destroy the work of thy hands? Okay? Choose today which God you're going to serve. Ain't no playing around with this. Like, we're not promised tomorrow. People, I'm going to keep saying that forever. As long as Most High give me grace. Knowing the things that come to the earth, what are we playing with? Everything that we're entangled with, that causes us, that we allow to cause us sin, is going to burn with fervent heat. Everything, life as you know it, everything you see will never again be as it is. This is Satan's house. This whole earth is the house of Satan. Most High gonna burn that thing with fervent heat. Even the traces that and the angels he misled in heaven, he gonna shake them down too. And burn that thing too. All traces of that evil spirit will be devoured. He showed us back in biblical time. We would go through a city and take it down. Most High will cast the people, the sinners, out from among our midst and tell us to burn the city. Burn down their idols. What were they burning them for? To purify the land, destroying their idols, their graven images, any traces of their religions. And they sacrifice to devils as we're doing right now today. He's going to do the same thing on a grand scale. The whole earth will burn with fervent heat. Is that not what Scripture just say, brother?
Mm-hmm.
So what you holding on to? It's not gonna be, and you gonna burn with it if you don't let it go. Nothing. I'm telling you, people, this is real. Whether you believe it or not. Don't be one of those ones that said that you're gonna be mourning and faint, like a woman in travail. Let's go.
Next precept, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 34.
We're going to the Apocrypha. All the prophets wrote of this day. Sorry, we're gonna have my phone down.
15.
34 to 16, 17. We'll read the whole chapter 16. And again, we've gone to the scriptures a lot. So let this serve as a reminder, people, of the mentality that we're supposed to have right now on this earth, preparing for this great day. Let's go. Anybody there?
And it reads,
Wait, let the brother do it. He's going to show you how Babylon going to get destroyed, and then their little copycat sister going to get destroyed too. Asia. Okay? As we know, right now, anything that America build, these short people, these Asians, they copycat their product and make it so-called more efficient. You know what I'm saying? Even I've seen pictures over there in Asia right now, it looks just like America. You know what I'm saying? But they copycat the United States. They want to be as the United States. They have bought out the United States after the U.S. kicked them out of their own country years ago, back in the 1920s. They had the Chinese Exclusion Act, I think it was called. They kicked them all out, and they couldn't come back until like years later. I don't know what year it was, but they kicked them all out. They came back and now they bought the whole country. But let's go.
Chapter 15, verse 34. Behold,
What's up? No, it just came to my mind. Check it out. I said that they bought the whole country. They mimicked what America did, right? But how did America get rich? On the back of slaves, but also, check it out. When you think about it, every nation has gotten rich, fueling the desire of Israelites. Why am I watching this TV show, right? Arab duo or Chaldean, what you gonna call him? He bought all this hair weave, right? He's had them all bagged up. You know, he had like a $2.89 sale on it. So the brother telling him what to do to sell to the sister. Nah, bro, we gotta repackage this thing and we call it this, give this name, and the sisters they're gonna buy it. So they need us to teach them how to exploit us. So everything that America, look at the commercial. Who they using? If they ain't using us, they try to sound like us. Right? In these shops and these stores, who are they exploiting? Their own people? Or us? So how have the agents done it? Where the hair coming from? No, it's coming from them. They bring it over here. Exploiting who? The cursed daughters of Zion. Because y'all hard-headedness, stubbornness, he gave y'all a bald head, so now this nation's speeding that sin, that curse. Oh, it's true. But still, it's catering to the cursed people. They got rich off the cursed people. So imagine if we didn't shop at all with them. What would they be? What would they be? I told a brother in the truck a couple days ago, on the bottom. I said, brother, take their money away from them, from the Gentiles. Seriously, all the heathen. Take the money that they have robbed us from. Take the money that the Most High has given them from our disobedience away from them. What are they? That's what the Most High said. Nothing.
I mean, you think that everything has been developed and everything, we did that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Every invention, it says in Deuteronomy, it would violently take our sheep, our ox, some of our inventions. Everything they have gotten come off of us. Take that away from them. What are they? Y'all get mad at me when I say this, but truthfully, I'm not. This is my opinion, and I like some of y'all. But y'all boring people. Sum up. Like seriously, just check it out. Back in the day, basketball, right? Go watch a basketball game from the 1940s. You'll fall asleep. Seriously. White boy got a little tight shorts on, pass the ball about 30 times before he make a layup. Boring. Football, boring. Until they put Judah or Israelite on the court or on the field. Cooking. Hey, cooking comes from our laws. It's in our tradition. What's up, brother?
Trying to see if we got 10 minutes
All right. Oh, I'm telling the truth. They can't stand there, man. It's bad. But the Most High taught us how to season and cook our food. How can you get better than that? That sweet smelling Savior, it came from our Father. So that's why we the coldest when it comes to barbecuing and cooking. Yeah. Everything. So now, because of the fall of us, the riches of the world came to them. Because think about it. Just imagine, like back in Solomon's day. One day, I'm going to read y'all about Solomon's kingdom, y'all. The servants was living better than any nation people was living. The servants of Solomon. And none of his people was slaves. They were free people in their kingdom. And each man under his own tree. Under Solomon's kingdom. You hear me? So imagine if all the nations had to come to Solomon to get wisdom, knowledge, how to operate, how to do this, understand this. Seriously. They still coming to Solomon. You see what I'm saying? But we're not benefiting anymore. It's benefiting the nations. And they have abused this people. That's why the wrath of God is coming. They have served themselves well with God's people. I'm saying, I mean, you take us away. Music, anything. Elvis Presley would not be nothing if he didn't try to dance like us and sing like us. Stealing our songs. But I'm just telling the truth. We the salt of this earth. We the salt of this earth. So how has the salt lost its flavor? Disobedience. Okay? What you got for me?
Oh no, I'm just looking up this word coming up. It's going to kind of confuse me. I was trying to get a definition on it.
What's that?
Hough. Hough.
What scripture is that?
In the Esdras, like the
Oh,
third.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Where we at?
Second Esdras chapter 15,
We
verse
see that.
34. 36 and 36. Verse 34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm.
What kind of cloud you think this is, people? Tornadoes? This is war, baby. Have y'all watched the movies when the bombs go off? Do you not see clouds? And so when those clouds, when that happens, now the atmosphere is polluted. Now what you get, brother? You say storms? But now when it rains, what's it raining? Who? Acid, all kind of stuff. This is killing the people. This is what's going on. Let's read. Let's get it. You found it?
Yeah, I found it, but I think they break it down better.
Okay, let's go. So they come from all over the place, because this is all out war, people. Let's go. So it's full of wrath and storm. Let's go.
They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth.
It's to smite down a great multitude. Now, what are these stars? At night right now, when it get dark, you stay outside, what are you going to see? You're going to see, you can see the constellation, then you'll see angels coming in out of the atmosphere. So like stars. Now, our people at that time know they have missiles and stuff. So right now, when it get dark, and the missile come here, what it look like? Like a fall, and they call it a falling star. Right? So it'll be shooting missiles, they're going to be hitting, they're going to be blocking missiles off, it'll be going on. Okay? Let's go.
Even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of men unto the camel's hoof, or it says hock, it's pronounced hock. And there shall be great fearfulness.
Glitter. Like glitter. Okay. See?
Yep. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth.
So it says, the men dung will be like the camel's litter. Okay? So let's go.
And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them.
So why go through this, people? Why be on the wrong side of the Most High? Seriously. Why? Do you believe what this book is saying right now? Sister, do you believe what this book is saying? Why be on the wrong side of this? Why be one of those who you get? The God that's fighting for you is the God that no one can destroy. This is all for your sake. Read.
And then shall there come great storms from the south, and from the north, and another part from the west. And strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it. And the cloud which he raised up in his wrath, and the stars stirred to cause fear toward the east and the west wind, shall be destroyed. The great and mighty clouds shall be lifted up, full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid.
So this isn't talking about Babylon only. All the earth. This is all out warfare, people. Let's go.
And them that dwell therein, And they shall pour out over every high place, every high and eminent place, and horrible star.
And horrible star. This is what they've been talking about, this nuclear bomb stuff for so long. Right? A horrible star. Let's go. A horrible weapon. Let's go.
Fire and hail and flying swords.
Flying swords. Are we not talking missiles? Let's go.
And many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters.
Tsunamis, people, I'm telling you, it's going to be. Whoop. Let's go.
And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn.
When the tsunami come, what do it do?
Wipe everything out.
Wipe everything out, right? Now imagine a bunch of them at the same time. Let's go.
And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon, and make her afraid. They shall come to her, and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven.
Can y'all see it now? The dust and the smoke should go up to heaven. It's going to be black, people. The sun, you will not be able to see the sun, the moon, nor the stars. It's going to be black, okay? Full of unbreathable air, okay? Let's go.
And all they that be about her shall bewail her. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia,
Who? And thou, Asia, you ain't got away. Let's go.
that are partaker of the hope of Babylon,
Partaker of the hope of Babylon. Babylon has God's people in captivity, right? Asia, you have not gotten away. How you treat God's people when they go into your stores? You have not gotten away. You get yours too. Okay? Let's go.
and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou
Wretch. Right?
because thou hast made thyself like unto her,
Like unto Babylon. Let's go.
and hast decked thy daughter in whoredom.
Like deck thy daughter in whoredom. Y'all remember back in the day when you see like the little what's his name? The little Chinese dude. Bruce Lee. Remember back in the day when all women had their little shower little, it was slick too. Them little garments that sisters wear. Huh?
They look garments.
Little garments. Do y'all see them now? What did
Like America.
and like who? Like the dogs of Babylon. Like these ratchet women in America. They look just like them. They used to dress in all modest, they had nice little shops, colors, all that. So now they got on, same thing that these you see on TV in America. America has turned them out. Okay? Let's go.
That they might please and glory in thy lovers,
Please and glory their lovers, their gods. Read.
which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore said the Most High.
It says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Have Asia not done this? Follow America in all their inventions and works. Right? They're doing the same thing. They paying, they working about 3 cents an hour. You know what I'm saying? Got their little kids and working that in the labor, which called places? Sweatshops. Okay. Sound like back in slavery time, right? Let's go.
I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death.
But people, so I beg y'all not to even shop with these folk, right? But don't try to fight them how you fight them. The Most High said, vengeance is His. He had every nation back for how they have abused His children. It's all written on the heavenly tablets. No one will get away with. The Most High says that when this go down, it's like someone putting trying to put his finger in his eyeball. That's how fast he's gonna react. Right now, if I put my finger in your eyeball, you're gonna try to stop me. That's how fast the Most High, when he tell Christ to go, he's coming with speed. All right? In a hurry. No one's going to stop him. Let's go.
And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, and when the heat shall arise, that is sent over thee, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastened with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Most High, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen.
Who? So why is this wrath coming? Read that again, my brother.
Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Most High, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen.
Thou hast not always slain my chosen. Who is doing that? Huh? Are the Jewish people going? So check it out. These guys had a Bible just tear their whole, all their lies down. Who's slaying the Jewish people? Even in the fake Holocaust, no one got slain. Those Bibles that you see they show on TV perpetually are the casualties of war. The people were sanitized in showers and shipped off to work in the for slave labor for the war. None of them was destroyed. Them ovens couldn't even barely cook bread. There's no incinerate people. All that stuff was proven false. It's us, God's children, that have been slain by the nations. Right?
If thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead when thou wast drunken. Set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Most High. Even so shall God do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down.
Just as we were destroyed, they will get it. Even worse, they'll give you double. Okay? Let's go.
And all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood.
Why? Read.
For very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Thou, as unhappy, shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. And in the passage, they shall rush on the idle city, and shall destroy some portion of thy land, and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon that was destroyed. And thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire, and shall consume thee, and thy cities, thy land, and thy mountains, all thy woods, and thy fruitful trees shall they burn up with fire. Thy children shall they carry away captive, and look what thou hast. They shall spoil it, and mar the beauty of thy face. Woe be unto thee, Babylon.
Destruction unto thee, Babylon, and Asia.
And Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn?
The Most High asks questions, don't he? He make you think. Can anyone turn away a hungry? Can a man turn away a hungry lion in the woods? What would happen to that man that tried to turn that hungry lion away? You gonna eat him. So what's gonna happen to the people that try to fight against the Most High? Remember, our God is a consuming fire. It make you think, right? Let's go.
May one turn again the archer that is shot of a strong archer. Slaki. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid?
Hey, you know what? I just thought about something. Can Allah prevent this? Is Allah the one that's proclaiming to do this? Is he? Have you heard any Muslims talk about what Allah gonna do to the world to recompense? Seriously. So he's coming for Baal. He's coming for Baal. He's coming for Satan. He's coming for Allah. He's coming for Buddha. Right? He's coming for all the graven images, for all the gods of the false religions and their children. Allah will not save you the day of Ahayah. Read.
Ahayah shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence?
To who? Man, the Most High will be playing around. He said, beat you down to powder. Y'all get what he's saying? Power. Something that could be blown away. Read.
The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also, before the Most High, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow.
Strong is his right hand, and his right hand name is Yasha, the Messiah, the arm of the Lord. Strong is him who bendeth the bow, who's come to war with the nations. After this goes down. Well, let's go.
For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again, until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent again. Earth shall not return again.
Never return again. Y'all, you remember when one of the prophets where it talks about David Lord is like when one have escaped from a lion, whatever, and got to the house and escaped from a bear or something, got the house, put his hand on the wall, he was bit by a serpent. Now all this going on, right? The Most High is going to allow like a time. After Babylon and Asia always is destroyed, right? He'll allow a time for his power, his marvelous might to be noised abroad, and will allow people to come to him. It's like he did at Egypt. The whole world knew about it. He said he'd be glorified. He'll allow a time. And right when, like, at least that power will go into the EU or to the little horn for a short space. You know what I'm saying? And right when that's over with, boom, the Messiah's coming. He's merciful, man. He's giving people opportunity. See, he's not just going to destroy Babylon and destroy the whole world. He's going to do the same thing he did up in Egypt. See? He destroyed Egypt, then he used us to destroy other nations. That's a foreshadowing. Because for those who don't know, Israel will fight. Okay? That exceedingly great army will fight for their kingdom. But let's go.
Verse 17. Woe is me, Woe is me! Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
See, the beginning of wars. Okay? Let's go.
The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
That's a question. What should we do when these evils come? The evils are here. Again, let's not wait until this day. Serve the Most High. Serve the God of Israel. Okay? Read.
But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness.
Who? For all these things that the Most High do, they would not turn from their wickedness. They would not acknowledge that these things are from the Most High. Read.
Nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be good cheap on the earth. Will be so good cheap on the earth.
Victuals, food stuff would be so cheap on earth. Okay? This is the beginning. Victuals so. Can you right now go to McDonald's and get you about 5 burgers for $2 a piece?
Burger King, I think.
Burger King?
100 nuggets for like
100 nuggets for
$10.
$10. No fake meat. So cheap. Let's go.
Will be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
Hey, can y'all see this? Everybody's everywhere, but can y'all see this though? People, we have to see this. Visualize. See what's coming, people. I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I said, hey, y'all think the Most High playing like this is the easy part. Right now we serve him in comfort. In conveniency. This is coming. The earth will be wasted. Read.
There shall be no man left to till the earth, and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men.
What happened to the people? Destroyed by the wars and destroyed by famine. Hey, I'm telling you, this is prophecy. Read.
So that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves, and in the clefts of rocks.
Read it again. In one city, what?
For of a city there shall be 10 left.
Check it out. Can y'all imagine here in Saginaw? There's 10 men here. So would a righteous man that them 10 righteous men be more valuable than gold to a woman? Who will protect her from the foreigner, the foreign soldier that's going to ravage you? You get what he's, yes.
Part of the whole program to get rid of our men.
Yeah. Make them as women.
And then they got us thinking, I don't need a man, but like you said, we're going to protect you.
We're going to protect you.
We're going to be in line.
You know? Yo. Just imagine. It's 10 of us, y'all. In Saginaw. And I pray the Most High bring us together. You scattered. You won't.
Somebody wants to be scattered.
And you won't. Do you get that?
That's that movie. That's
All the movies.
you know they got our records.
Yeah.
That's the I forget
With
the
this,
name.
what,
Denzel Washington.
the book Eli?
Book Eli.
Yeah.
He just walking. He got like the last Bible. Yeah. They got our these records.
But then it said what? It'd be 2 men, what? 2 men in the field, what's that?
And 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in thick groves and in the clefts of rocks.
But I hope we 2 by 2 like Christ said to the house. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
And in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard.
Does this not kill that I'm saved, that doctrine? All these Christians say, he painted a picture for us, non-physical. Right? Read.
Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
So they come. Right? Read.
And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough.
So my people, there'll be no more basketball games, no more football games, no more baseball games. It's over. You have reaped your reward in full as of this day. All that's about to be abruptly ended. No more of that. Your money will not save you this day. Huh? I am legend. Yeah. But you give it money can do nothing for you right now. You can't buy nothing in this day. Nothing. If all those preppers who think they're gonna be planting gardens, what does it say? It says right here, in verse 24. No, 23. And the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man to comfort them. For the earth should be wasted, and the cities should be cast down. There should be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. So I don't know what the brother talking about. You know, he buying land to plant gardens. It ain't going down.
Burnt up.
Yes.
Then they like buying these survival homes and stuff, tubes and stuff.
They can have their little bunkers, their little survival homes. It burning with fire. It's some of those who in the cliffs. What do you think he's talking about? You hide, you can't. Come and get you. Read. No. Read.
Verse 32. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers.
Having no who?
No helpers.
Who are the helpers? The men. Read.
In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of the Most High. Behold, the word of the Most High, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom Ahayah spake.
Believe not the gods. Believe the Most High. Receive the Most High's word. Read.
Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack.
Y'all get that? I spoke about it earlier. I said these teachers teach the prosperity. Most High said, don't believe the gods. It's the gods that have deceived these pastors who ain't preparing you for this day. Believe them not. He said, believe what he say and receive it. You receive something, you do it. Read.
As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
And check it out. He ain't talking about 6, 7, 8 months into, in the pregnancy. He broke it down to the right spot. What do you say? A couple hours?
Right here.
2 or 3 hours? Women. Is that not the worst part of pregnancy? The last, you know what I'm saying? You know about that, bro?
Within 2 or 3 hours of her birth.
Within 2 or 3 hours, that's when we all, what's called it? When you open, what's called? What's called? Ovulate? Not dilated? Right there, y'all sweating, you cussing everybody out? Yeah, that part right there. It's coming, sis. Prepare your mind for it, girl.
But it's such a pain that it's a
great
pain.
It's a great joy afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like our kingdom. And so even that, the Most High described us going through what's called Jacob's trouble as the same with this. So Israel must go through this pain. And the joy is us receiving our kingdom, us receiving our reward. Right? Be reconciled with him. Be in the midst of him. But let's go.
Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
So Most High said, believe this and receive this. Don't believe what nobody else is telling you. Read.
And the world shall mourn, and
And the
sorrow
world shall mourn.
shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Even as pilgrims, so we cannot get attached to nothing on this earth. When this going down, he said, you persecute one city, flee to the next. Why would you stay in something that's on fire? We'll be on the run, people. Trying to survive. Okay? Praying incessantly to the Most High. Okay? Hiding from these soldiers. Read.
He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth, as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein.
Is this what the Christian church is teaching? In the last days? So our people not know this? Our people right now are buying as if they gonna know. Like right now, we got people trying to set. I got people talking about how they setting themselves up for their kids' kids. Your kids' ain't gonna go. Trust me. Believe this right here. The Most High didn't say don't buy nothing. He said don't plant nothing. He said don't trust in it. If you do this, it's not a sin to do this. He wants you to enjoy the life that the day that he has given you. But don't trust in these things. Be as a pilgrim. Right? The pilgrim can sit down and break bread and drink wine and enjoy itself. But it's time to go, it's time to go. Right? Right now, if the east side of Saginaw get destroyed, I'm going to the west side. If west side gets destroyed, I'm going to flip. You know what I'm saying? On foot, if I can make it. That's a pilgrim. Right? Read. Bay City somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But let's get it.
He that soweth, as if he shall not reap, and so also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers.
So see, they that marry not have the mindset of a widow. We read in the Bible, these widows that was righteous gave their life to the Most High. Stay in the temple. They gave life to the Most High. Right? It says, they that marry, as they should get no children. If you get a child, that's a blessing. But don't sit here trying to plan, well, I'm gonna have 5 kids, and you know, I'm saving, you know, I'm taking this out, you know what I'm saying, for their education, that kind of stuff. Hey, you know, that's on you. If you do it, you do it. It's not a sin. But just understand that this may not happen. The chances are very highly likely that it would not go as planned. And if it don't go as planned, you better be on the right side of the Most High. You and your children. Okay? Read.
And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses.
So these soldiers are going to have a lot of water and food when they go into these bunkers. And these preppers think they're going to go on. You're preparing for the soldiers that will come over here and invade this country. It says that you will serve them. Read.
For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more...
See, so after Babylon destroyed, it would be a takeover. Right? Like I said, the power will go over into the little horn. Right? which is the EU. So, for a time, people that survived will serve. Why do they got all these UN white and black trucks? Remember the vision I had, the two visions I had y'all to tell y'all about? Those that was here? I don't get deep in that stuff, but hey, they will rule for a short period of time. And you will be captive to those. All those who will not receive the mark of the beast, because that will be implemented as well, trust and believe, will be destroyed. Okay? And some of those, some people will escape. But you will serve, your children will go into captivity under the UN. Trust and believe. Let's go.
And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, said the Most High. Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself.
Let's stop right there. Let's get that what he just said. Social righteousness hate iniquity. My people, I talk about it all the time. We must hate sin. If you hate sin, there is no struggle as far as doing what the Most High said. There's serious. If you love sin, if you love what you're entangled with, then it's hard because you don't want to let it go. Righteousness, people that are righteous, we must be as Most High. He loved righteousness and he hate iniquity. We must hate iniquity. Right? So if we hate iniquity, we hate what's going on in this world. And we'll be glad that what's going on is going on. Because we know our God and our Father and our Creator is righteous. He's doing this for our cause. To bring in righteousness. Read.
So shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face, when he cometh that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon earth. And therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you.
Yet a little. This stuff must go on. And righteousness shall reign on earth. Iniquity, sin will be taken away forever. Read.
Let not the sinner say that he hath not sinned. Slow. For God shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which saith before Ahayah, in his glory I have not sinned. Behold, Ahayah knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts.
Check it out. As we talk about it all the time, for all of them, I gotta be consistent. For all those the law done away with, what is the Most High talking about? For all those say they're not sin, that sin again means breaking the God's law, transgressing His law. So obviously his law still exists because He's destroying. He said He's gonna burn you with fiery coals in your head for breaking His law. So what part aren't you getting? Let not the sinner is those who break His law, according to 1 John chapter 3:4. Read that. That he have not sinned, he has not broken God's law. For Ahayah shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which was said before Ahayah and his glory. I have not broke your law. You can't make excuse to your pastor to say you had to follow his law. The Bible consistently said. Read.
Behold, the Most High knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts.
Oh yeah, see, He know your heart. He know your imaginations too. Your thoughts. Read.
Which spake, but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created.
Now let's get this, y'all. This is our God. We don't serve a God who this don't pertain to. The God that chose us spake by the word. Let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heavens be made, and it was made. That's the God, the Hebrews, the God that we serve. The God of all gods. To not keep His laws and commandments mean that you are a real cool. The Most High is not saying this for nothing. He's bringing it back to our memory who He is. With the Word, He created the earth. Look at it. Look at it. Created heavens. Look at the sun. Right now, it's shining. It's bright. It's powerful. Look at it. Something much more greater made it. How can you not fear Him? How? (56) And His word were the stars. His word were the stars the angels made, and He knoweth the number of them. Check it. Like, listen to who our God is. There's myriads and myriads and myriads upon myriads of angels, millions and times and millions of angels. He knows the names of them. He knows all His children, all His physical creation. He knows the names that He called us. He don't call us by our government. He has a name for us. Everything He created, He knows them by name. And let's pound on that for a minute. For real, this is real talk. Let's ponder on who our God is. I'll forget you if I ain't seen you in about 2 years. For real. I grew up with a dude. I went to the store with my wife last week. I thought it was somebody else. I'm like, dang, him. Oh my goodness. How can I forget him? I grew up with him. But the Most High don't forget nothing. Remember, know everything. How can you hide Him? Yes.
I forget the scripture, but it said He know every hair upon your head because you was in your mother's womb. So now that's all knowing you.
Yeah.
Before you even conceive.
Come on, hair in your head. Look, come on. Hair in your head ain't got nothing to do with these angels. It's billions, trillions of angels. You know our name. They come in and they converse with them. Billions of people. You know them all by name. Hair in the head, that's a light thing. You know what I'm saying? That's about a couple hours, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But everything He created, He knows it. He sees it. So let's understand who we serving. Y'all get the picture that He's trying to create? So if, like He said, if I'm your king, where's my fear? Where's His fear? It's not a make-believe creature. The things He created, we can see. Us. Do you not see yourself in the mirror? See your hand? Seriously. You get a little scrape, you get a cut, it heals. Did that happen from evolution? The body repairing itself? You sick. The only thing can cure a virus is the body. We just evolved, that wouldn't happen. You just died. Love caused that to happen. Something loves you. Something is sustaining you and staying your life. Hey, this is our God, people. So we read the scriptures, we got to see it. He's not just putting that in there just to put it in there. He's letting you know, look, be mindful who I am. He knows, so you can't play with Him. The Lord knows my heart. You see, I know your heart, your intentions, imagination, and all that. I know anything else too. You can't hide nothing from Him. So your true intentions, your true motivations, He knows it. So it don't sound like He's saying that, He created people to be subject to sin. Or that He created people to sin. He says, let not the sinner say. Verse 57, He searches the deep and the treasures thereof. He hath measured the sea. Can any of us do that? Are they not trying to do that right now? They've been trying for years. Have they accomplished that?
Not at all.
They ain't measured a portion of it. He has measured the sea and what it contains. He has shut the sea in the midst of the waters. And with His word have He hanged the earth upon the waters. My people, check Him out. Check Him out. Okay? This is our God, man. This is who created us, who chose our forefathers. If he have done this, can he not resurrect us easily? Like what? So do we believe in the resurrection of the Messiah? You get it? Do we believe if we die today that we be resurrected in time and glory? If we're obedient. Do we believe if we do not be obedient that we be resurrected to shame and eternal torments? Mm-hmm. 59. He spreadeth out the heavens like a vault for my globe earths. He spreadeth out the heavens as a vault. Okay? Upon the waters have he found it. Right? I have yet all my life seen a body of water, a lake, an ocean, a sea that showed me a curve. Farther I look, it's a straight line. He spread out the heavens as a ball. You don't spread it on a ball. Okay? He's painting a picture for us. People, we gotta listen, pay attention. In the ball, a globe don't have ends. It says to the ends of the earth. How can a globe have ends? To the ends of the earth. On the waters have he founded it. In the desert have he made springs of water. We must believe it. In the desert he made springs of water. The same thing he promised to do again for us when we return home. He said that every day he would show us wonders. In the desert would be springs of water. And pools upon the tops of the mountains, that the floods might pour down from the high rocks to water the earth. He made man. Here we go. Our God made man and put his heart in the midst of the body and gave him breath, life, and understanding. Yea, and the Spirit of Almighty God, which made all things and searches out all things, all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Surely he knoweth your inventions, and what ye think in your hearts. Even them that sin, it will hide their sin. Therefore, Ahayah search out all your works, and he will put you all to shame. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins should be your accusers in that day. What will ye do? How would you hide your sins before God and his angels? This is what it's all about. This is judgment. For those who think God don't have laws, also you must believe he don't have a judgment. He's asking you, how would you hide your sins from him and his angels? Behold, Ahayah himself is the judge. Fear him. We just read about him. We gave a little summary of who he is. Fear him. Nothing else. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. This is how we save ourselves from the upcoming destruction of this world and people. If you do this, so shall Ahayah lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. You talk to people out on the streets, they say, well, okay, you saying this gonna happen, so what we gonna do about it? You can't change it. No, you can't change it, but you can do something about it. You can save your soul by leaving off your sins, casting them away, fearing the Most High. And he will lead you and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. Why? Why would these people feed people who have escaped with things offered to devils? Because at the end of the day, it's all about keeping the Most High's laws. They can destroy the body, but not the soul. See? Those that are in captivity, being idle, lukewarm, they would try to feed you with things offered to devils, idols, pork, especially. They love that one. 69. That's it. 68.
278.
78. For behold, read that. 69. And they that consent unto them shall be held in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Don't listen to any other gods. Fear the Most High. Any God, I say gods, people that's over you doing this are led by spirits and gods. Can I convince you as they convinced our mother Eve that it's okay? The earth is scarce of food. Eat this to survive. Eat it not. He said, all those that consent unto them will be trodden underfoot. Take the mark of the beast. You can eat, provide for your family. If you do, you'll be trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Ahayah. See, it all comes down to, as we read in the book of Revelations, Satan angry with the remnant of God that keep the commandments of him and the testimony of Christ. At the end of all this, that's what it's all about. The Most High is doing this to erase sin and wicked doers, evil doers off the earth. And the final test will be, which God you going to serve? When you end the risen. When the land is desolate. Would you eat swine? You try to save your soul? To say your so-called feed your baby? Or would you wait on the Most High? They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. Do y'all see who the attack is on, really? God's people. They're not going out by themselves like that old spirit attitude. If I'm going out and taking anybody with me, well, the demons and Satan's mindset and his children's mindset is, if they going out, they taking God's people with them. And the only way to get them, take them with them, is to convince us to sin. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. See? They will waste and take away your goods. So you want to prep on anything, prep in this Bible. And do it what it says. That's prepping. That they can take away from you, as Christ says, moths can't eat it up. And cast them out of their houses. Then should they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as the gold in the fire. So once they come and do God's will, destroying Babylon, Asia, and all these other places, who did their attention go to? The elect, God's chosen people. And when they offered all these pacifiers, those who stand still for the Most High, he says, then they will know who's his children, who's his servants, who's his chosen. Those that through all this stand up for him, even in the face of death, and uphold his laws. Hear, O ye my beloved, says Ahayah, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. but I will deliver you from the same. What can you do about it? Hear the Most High. Trust and fear Him, and He will deliver us from the troubles. So my people, if you are one of the 10 or the 2, continue to fear the Most High, and He will deliver you. Don't listen to any other guys who's telling you that you can eat this, you can do this, you can take this. Be patient. Endure. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. Do not waver in your faith in the time of trouble. The Most High loves us. He will provide for us. Go back into your mind. Remember your forefathers in the wilderness. Were they not hungry? Were they not thirsty? Did they die of thirst? Did they die of hunger? Did He not feed them bread from heaven? Remember that. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Ahayah is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and my precepts, His laws, says the Most High. Read this Bible, y'all, and tell your pastor he can kick rocks. He's lying. Or she's lying. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the paths over covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed, and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. Let that not be you, people. Be not undressed. Be not full of sin, because He will cast you into the fire. Next precept.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1 through 19, verse 2.
No, you do not. Hey, you gotta go on right now? Okay. Let's get it.
I think he's talking about the video.
Okay, we'll be done.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And as he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
This place, hey, we can't see them, but it is saturated with demons. The foul spirits are not birds. The spirits. It can become the habitation of devils. That's why it's so much violence and hatred and the denial of the Most High, the rejecting of the Most High. They have possessed the whole world and taken them over. Read.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
See, all her lives, all nations, the whole world has been drunk off her fornication. All of them are rejecting the Most High and oppressing His children. Read.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sin. It is mentioned about how all the nations and the kings are drunk off the wine of her fornication. Okay? So if His people are drunk off the wine of fornication, what does that mean that we're doing? sinning, serving other gods. We're spiritually fornicating against the Most High. Come out of her. Like we read earlier, come out of the mouth of Satan. Come out of her, my people. Right? Drink not the wine of Babylon. Believe nothing they say. Do nothing they do. Read.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath gloried herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen.
Isn't that crazy how they got a queen at the Statue of Liberty, ceramics, the queen of heaven? He said a queen. Read.
And am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day.
Do y'all see the arrogancy? She should not be a widow. So a widow means that you have what? Lost your husband. Okay? Right? Lost the children. Said that miracles say that can't nobody destroy them. Arrogancy, that pomp that Most High would say he's going to cause to cease in the land. Let's go.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire.
She should be who?
Utterly burned with fire.
Did we not just read this? John is getting it from the Spirit through the prophets. From the prophets. Same thing we just read. Read.
For strong is Ahayah who judgeth her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Smoke of her burning. I told you, this place is about to burn with fire, my people. Read.
Standing afar off for the fear of her, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
It's not talking about 60 minutes, right? A short period of time. Okay, read.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and the pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thyine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and of iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Look at that. And slaves and souls of men. The sister sent me something yesterday, 2 days ago, about them. What's it called?
Not human trafficking.
No, but
That sleeve, but it was
human sleeves.
promoting a movie.
Which is the movie is promoting what the Most High said. He said, so it's not talking about buying slaves because we are slaves. Because of the slaves, they lived deliciously. But they would be selling the souls of men. Like it says, now they call them human sleeves, where the movies are not for no reason. These demons been telling us what's going on. So it's not just promoting a movie, it's showing you what's going on. The Most High is saying it.
But tell us that it's promoting.
But tell us it's promoting a movie, but the movie is to tell you what's here and what they're doing. So they're able to take the consciousness and the memories and everything. There's many movies that show this right here. Many movies. This ain't the first movie they come out. They've been doing this. And put it into these human sleeves. They got bones and everything, and they grow them from our what you call it?
No stem cells.
Basically, like, you know what I'm saying? But they get it from us, and they grow in these humans.
Basically promoting immortality.
Yeah, promote immortality. So you get 50, you can get a new body, put your memory thing in this body. So the Most High is saying that no longer will they be able to benefit off the souls of men. Okay? Let's go.
And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all.
Thou shalt find them no more all. No one will be able to serve themselves of God's people. Children. Hey, y'all calm down. We almost finished.
The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. and saying, Alas, alas, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the company in ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto thee, unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her.
He did what?
Avenged you.
So why is the wrath of the Most High come? Why is all this going on? For his saints. He's avenging his saints. Read.
And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice...
As we see, again, this is not this particular time. It's about Babylon. Babylon town has always been destroyed. It's about a place that we reside at right now, people. It'll be destroyed. That's why I say we are not to treasure things on this land. It's about to be destroyed for our sakes. Let's go.
And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman, or whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
By their sorceries were all nations deceived. The psychological magic that Satan had used his people to play on the people. Right? Right now, I see some of you pastors watching right now. It's time to stop teaching prosperity. Babylon, America is about to be destroyed. Teach our people the truth. Prepare them for this great day that's coming. It's here. Iran is about to destroy America. It's time to prepare spiritually. Get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep it Sabbath for those who are over churches, over God's people. Get back to earning the Sabbath, the seventh day. Friday night sundown to Saturday sundown. Get back to the basic. Get back to our laws. As we just read, all sinners. If there's no law, there's no such thing as a sinner. It's time to stop playing. Your money will not save you. Let it all go and serve the Most High.
Yeah.
Teach these people the truth, even if it costs you your life, costs you your flock. Teach them the truth. Save your soul. Their blood is on your hands. And I pray that y'all have a listening ear and listen to what the Spirit is saying to you right now. I'm not here to take none of your members, none of that. Those are people. Please, my brothers, listen. Go back and watch this video and listen to the lesson. Learn from it. Teach it to your church. Warn the people. Blow the trumpet. Tell Israel their sins. And if you are partakers of that, wash your hands. Confess your sin. And come learn about the God of Hebrews. All this has been taking place, is going on right now for your sake. Our kingdom is coming. Our Messiah is coming to redeem his people. You are not a Gentile. You are an Israelite. You are the bloodline of Jacob, who the promises pertain to, who Christ came for, who the covenants pertain to, who the service of God pertain to. Them Jewish people, them white people did not have authority to teach out of our Bible. Put down their false doctrines. Get back to this book. Read this book. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Put it down. Forget everything you was talking was be the first principles of oracles of the Most High. That you learn again. Get you the milk. And teach your churches the truth. Warn the people. and tell them how to save themselves. There's no saving yourself from this unless you are obedient to his laws. Let's go.
And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven, saying, Praise the Most High, salvation and glory and honor and power unto Ahayah our God. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication.
Which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, with her lies, her blasphemies against the Most High, promoting homosexuality, promoting lawlessness, oppressing God's people, lying to God's people, causing us, leading us astray, teaching us that we're African, and that it don't matter who we are, teaching us to forget the Sabbath, to forget his laws, to forget our whole history, forget our records, forget our forefathers, and do as they say. Or teaching us that we have the ability to do whatever we want to do, serve God, as long as we believe in a higher being, that's okay. Judgment is coming to this earth for sinners and for those who have promoted it.
And hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand.
And hath revenged the blood of his servants, his children. We're dying out here unjustly for a reason. We talked about it all day in class. Go back if you was coming on this right here and watch the video. Go on YouTube, Awakening the Highest Lake Church. Watch our videos. The Spirit been blowing the trumpet for a long time now. Go back and learn, my people. Come out of her, my people. Come out of these churches. They're of the whore. The whore is the Roman Catholic Church. The other harlots are the churches who have drunk off the wine of the whore. All the lies you have drunk off the lies of Satan, who runs all religions. Come out of her, my people. Israel, get back to the law. That's what Christ came to bring Jacob back to the Most High. That's what we're doing through the Spirit of Christ, to bring him back, Jacob, to the Most High. All we can do with that is bring us back to these laws, which are throughout all generations. Read.
Next precept, Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 through 14.
Yeah. 24.
Yep, 6 through 14.
Matthew chapter 24, 6 through 14. Hey, Junior, stop it. Let's listen to what the Messiah is saying as we close out on this lesson. And you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. Can y'all see how Christ quoted from the Old Testament, from the Apocrypha? For all those preachers who teach that the Apocrypha is not inspired of God, Christ is quoted from it. We just read it all day today. And you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Did we not read that earlier? Out of the Apocrypha? For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation should rise against nation. Did we not read that? And kingdom against kingdom is going down right now. Iran is about to destroy America. Don't be fooled by the media. This is prophecy being fulfilled. He will use the means, and we brought in the lesson today, to destroy Babylon the Great. And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. I just heard that they had an earthquake in Ohio, in Canada. Did y'all hear that? 6.4, I think it was. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Then should they deliver you up to be afflicted. I'm talking about those who keep the laws and commandments of the Most High. Not just because you're Israelite, because you're Israelite, but just because you're keeping the laws and commandments. And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. No such thing as racism. They hate God's people because they're God's chosen people. God is black. Christ was black. They hate him. So Christ said, if you keep his law, they hate you too. And then shall many be offended. So it'll be like we brought this out last week, I think 2 weeks ago. Many be stumbled. Being offended is talking about people putting up stumbling blocks or entice people to sin. So many will be enticed to sin. And should betray one another. And should hate one another. And many false prophets should rise and should deceive many. That's why you read in the Old Testament, it says, believe not the gods, believe the Most High. Because the gods, with they false prophets, teach you the law is done away with. So you can burn in hell with them. And because iniquity or sin, check it out. Again, if the law is done away with, what is Christ talking about? He said, because sin or iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Are we not living in a lawless world? Is sin above righteousness right now? Mm-hmm. But he that shall, and for all my pastors who watch this, who teach that your people are saved, stop it. Again, like I said, tell them, our people, the truth. Because Christ says, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. We just read about all the pearls and tribulations that God's people must go through. The end is not yet. There's no one saved. And this gospel, what you're hearing right now, live right now, of the kingdom. See, this is the gospel of the kingdom. Ain't talking about prosperity, people. The same kingdom we read about earlier that Christ will reestablish for Israel. Acts chapter 1, verse 6, read that. Have you come to restore the kingdom to Israel? That kingdom. This good news we preach right now to God's people. We have a kingdom prepared for us. This kingdom is about to be destroyed. These kingdoms are about to be destroyed. We talk about all day today. Our kingdom is next. Whether you believe it or not. Shall be preached in all the earth, all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. So what you're listening to right now is been led by the Most High Spirit. This is prophecy being fulfilled, people. Last precept. What we at?
Isaiah chapter 55, verses 6 and 7.
Let me read that. Isaiah chapter 5.
55.
55. Chapter 6 and 7.
Verse 6 and 7.
Y'all know what? How much time we got, bro, on that thing you say?
I saw it a few seconds ago. Probably like 8 minutes it looked like now. Let me see.
Let me get it.
Might have already stopped.
Stop.
I think so.
No, we on.
Still going?
We on. I'm gonna try to get away with this, y'all.
About 7 minutes.
Okay, 6 and 7?
Yep.
Alright, I'm not gonna do it then. Here's how you escape this up and coming judgment from the Most High's wrath. Verse 6 reads, seek you Ahayah while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Ahayah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. That's how we save ourselves. The wicked must forsake their ways and their thoughts. Get them in harmony with God's law, and he will pardon you, and he will save you and guide you through all troubles. So, in a nutshell, Babylon the great sins have come to a head as the Most High prophesied. He's about to pay back and revenge his people for his holy name's sake. Later, after that, he will send his son down to finish it off, finish the deal. All sinners, all those who go against the Most High and his laws and commandments and his son will be destroyed. The only way out of this, my people, there is a way, is to repent. Turn back from your evil way and learn how to do his laws. Learn what the Most High expects of his people, what he requires of his people, which is obedience to his law. And do it. And fear and trust in him, which is the whole duty of man. That we fear the Most High, and keep his commandments. These things we see right now are the beginning of sorrows. Let us trust and fear in the Most High, my people. Shalom.
Shalom.